significantly. So just allowing for his offensive play to develop is a great job getting a few yards there.
Yellen, a former 4-star recruit. 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And they bring out Tyler Pacheco, the Swiss Army knife, who will be on the left. Gio Orsino on the right. And then right in the backfield is Drew Johnson, the freshman. You hear the vuvuzelas. It sounds like a South African soccer match. Yellen's going to keep it, get the first down, out across the 20. He goes scampering towards the end zone. He dives, and he is just shy of pay dirt. Oh, excuse me, that was Tyler Pacheco on the carry.
Tyler Pacheco back at quarterback on that play, and he just rolls out to the right, doesn't love what he sees, in the pass game, and he just takes the green turf and runs with it. It's a great job of making the right decision there, tucking and running, almost scoring the touchdown.
69th rush here, and he'll take it in. Couldn't get it the first time, got it the second time. Tyler Pacheco scores touchdown number 7 on the ground, and Chapman strikes first here in the SCIAC Championship.
Very successful first opening drive for Chapman. A little bit of Joey Yellen in the beginning, right, finding his receivers. Gio Orsino right in the run game, and then Tyler Pacheco to top it off there for the touchdown. It was a great job by Chapman.
75 yards in just under 4 minutes of offense. Very efficient. And the PAT is up and through. Just like the last time these two teams played, Chapman strikes first. And the benefit here coming into this game for Pomona-Pitzer, as we take another look at it, Pacheco getting the direct snap and rolling out to his left, untethered into the end zone. The big advertisement for Pomona-Pitzer was their defense. Thomas McConnell, a SCIAC's sole leading tackler, who had 14 tackles against Chapman. Alden Kling, the conference leader in sacks. Kalani Pickett, who's been a key contributor in that secondary. All of that was nullified on that first drive by Chapman.
They took a lot of time to establish the run there in the beginning, getting Orsino involved, really softening the defense a bit, and allowing Joey Yellen to find his receivers out on the edges of the sidelines there. It was just a great offensive drive there for Chapman, mixing it up on the ground and in the air.
Chapman is going to kick this one away. Taken with the heels towards the end zone. And a flag is thrown here near the 30-yard line. That was a heavy heave by our head linesman, Jordan Smith.
Yeah, penalties was a really big factor in the last time these two teams matched up for Chapman. This one might be going against Pomona here on a hold.
Chapman led the conference in penalties, and they're going to call a holding on the return team. So an already semi-decent return now gets pushed back even further.
And they're starting this drive on the 15-yard line, and if you remember Chapman, they started their drive on the 35. So 20-yard advantage on so far an average starting field position for Chapman.
By the way, Duncan Lee was the returner. It's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. Our first opportunity to see Grady Russo, the sophomore quarterback out of Dover, Massachusetts. Led the conference in passing touchdowns with 15, only 5 interceptions. And he's going to keep it. This is what he does. He leads the team in rushing for a reason, using the wheels for 13 yards and a first down.
Grady Russo, he's a dual threat quarterback. He's going to be a big factor in this ballgame, something that Chapman didn't have to deal with the last time they played. And looks like Tim Tebow back there in the orange and blue, rushing up the middle.
It looks like you in the orange and blue back in your Florida days. 1st and 10, a nice gain of 12 on the run. Russo looking to throw, goes near side, pass is caught. Joaquin Valdez, the junior wide receiver, gets a nice chunk of yardage. Sammamish Washington, 9th reception of the season for him.
Yeah, great job by Russo. Scanning the defense, making a quick read, throwing the ball out to the flat. Making it 2nd and manageable here for the Sage Hens.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Sage Hens fans showing up in droves. The Panthers fans on the far side filling out the visiting section. It's a series that has been dominated by Chapman, including in last year's championship game, as Russo will get 3 and make it a 3rd and manageable. But these Sage Hen fans, they can smell that this team is special. And they're just a couple of quarters away from history here for the program. But right now it's a 7-0 deficit, and most of the football game left standing in their way. 3rd and 4. Defense showing a blitz. It comes. Pass is complete. That's Mitchell Rodenbaugh, the freshman running back out of Eastvale, down in the Chino area. And he gets the first down.
Great job by Russo there, getting the ball out, right? You got to replace the blitz with the ball. He saw the blitz coming. Little hot route out there. Get the first down.
Rodenbaugh caught 12 passes coming into the game. He did have a receiving touchdown in the game against Chapman in October. 1st and 10 from the 39. Sage Hens are driving. They've won 5 consecutive, including a 21-17 victory over Chapman on October 19th. The Chapman Panthers have won all 3 since that loss. Russo keeps. Defense was ready. Got some good blocking. Russo fights for something, but will get maybe 1.5. Ooh, a courtesy half-yard gain as well. So a gain of 2. A well-earned 2 yards there for Russo.
This is a really stingy Chapman defense. I mean, they're kind of loading the box, getting ready for this quarterback run here. And Grady Russo just fighting off defenders, itching for a few yards. Great effort.
Highest efficiency rating in the conference. 153.8, which is astronomical. One of the better efficiency ratings in the nation. Did not play the last time these two teams played. Empty set. Whistles are blown. Flags are flying. False start will likely be called.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. They had a look they really liked. They were able to get Jackson Walker out here on the boundary, but that penalty will set them backwards, and this offense can't afford any penalties.
They were the least penalized team in the SCIAC this season. Chapman was the most penalized team, and that definitely stood out in the victory for Pomona-Pitzer the previous time these two teams played. 2nd and 13 from the 41. Russo, quick pitch, quick catch. It's Wimmer reeling it in. His favorite target out across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Quinton Wimmer, one of the Wimmer twins. You're going to see them all over the field here today. And for Quinton Wimmer, 41st reception, over 400 yards receiving, leading the SCIAC in that category.
That was a great job by Russo, getting Wimmer there on the
Russo keeps fighting for it, and he got a hair over the line to gain for the first down, but he got pummeled in the process.
Chapman loading the box there, getting ready for it. Just hard-fought yards there. It looks like it's going to be a first down for the Sage Hens. This has been a tough drive for them getting yards.
Okay, so Chapman, it felt like it was a little bit more seamless offensively, but they were still productive. Clearly, this is a bend-don't-break offense for Pomona-Pitzer, but so far it's working.
Inching along here in this first quarter.
And Pomona-Pitzer trying to dominate time of possession, which is something that Chapman has done all season long. The Wimmer twins moving from right to left. Shotgun for Russo. Fakes the handoff, losing time and space, and just throws it away. Kyle Seibin comes in to try and clean him out. And they're going to say there was a tight end in the area, so it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, just too many rushers for the amount of blockers there. They got burned on the blitz, and luckily it wasn't worse than it was, but great effort by Chapman disrupting that play.
Seibin, the junior out of Burlingame, California, has 5.5 tackles for loss as a DB this season. They use him in that blitz quite a ton. 2nd and 10. Sander Wimmer on the move. Here's Quinton Wimmer. He's looking to throw. Now he brings it back, and he's going to keep it. Wimmer using the length to gain an extra yard or two out across the 50 to the 45. A gain of 5. He did this in the last game that they played, and he threw a 75-yard touchdown. This time, though, he elects to run it.
They love using misdirection and doing trick plays, and Wimmer getting on the edge and make great decisions, just keeping it. It keeps this defense on their heels. Great job by Wimmer getting 5 yards.
Third and 5. This is where Russo can do some damage on the ground. Blocking holds, finds the crease, tucks it in, dancing out right, needs another yard. He fumbled the football, but I think he was down. And he's going to be 2 yards short as well. 4 down territory, Drew.
I believe it is. I think Russo and this offense can get a half yard here running the ball if they elect to go for it. But Grady Russo, great decision-making, great patience, cutting back, just fighting for every inch of turf. Great effort by Russo.
4th and 2. That's Russo on the move. It's a direct snap to Wimmer. He lowers the hammer. And, oh boy, I think this Panther defense stood strong. But we're going to have to wait for the spot.
I think they're short.
They're already, the Chapman defense knew it too. They're coming off the field.
It's going to be first down Chapman.
Yeah, the crowd is begging for the chain gang to come out and at least measure it. But, yeah, he certainly didn't get it.
Interesting play call taking Russo out there, especially with Wimmer back there. Not sure what they were trying to do.
He's big, he's lengthy, he's strong, he's fast. They were hoping to use his entire skill set.
But nobody went with Russo, so the numbers were off in terms of offense versus defense on that play.
The Vuvuzella's raining through as the defense comes back on. Pacheco, the direct snap. He had a rushing touchdown, a drive, a go, and here he barrels his way into opponent territory down at the 45-yard line. The do-it-all athlete with another nice gain.
I love this play call. It's a fake pitch to Yellen over on the left side, and Pacheco just takes it up the middle again with nobody touching him after 15 yards down the field. This spread offense is really good at misdirection and keeping their defenses on the heels.
5 minutes to go in the first quarter, rather. Yellen back in the shotgun. Orsino's behind him. And play action will be taken here by Brendan Menzino, his second reception. And a short gain on the play of 2. The defense was ready.
And again, you see that misdirection, the fake handoff, and you see the Menzino coming around in the flat. It really stretches out this defense, and it's going to make it really difficult for Pomona-Pitzer to follow the ball because they're doing such a great job spreading the rock around for Chapman. Really dynamic offense.
Chapman averaging 9.4 yards per play right now. On drive number 2, 2nd and 8 upcoming. Yellen went 11 for 13 and 115 yards the last game they played in the season finale at Laverne. That pass incomplete. Cade Zimmerman, the intended target.
Yeah, so it's going to be 3rd and long here, round midfield. This is about the fringe point of the football field, and for those of you who don't know, the fringe point is the spot in the field where it might be too long for a field goal but too short for a punt. So this could be 4-down territory for Chapman. And they're looking over to the sideline here. They're doing a no-huddle tempo offense, trying to get the Pomona team on their heels. And
3rd and 8, and the crowd will let you know. Yellen in the shotgun. Orsino on the move. He goes to his reliable back, Gio Orsino, who scurries his way out near the line to gain. I think they're giving him a yard shy. But you mentioned this is probably 4th-down territory, and with how good this offense is, I'd understand why they would go for it.
Yeah, with this play call, you could tell that they were going to go for it on 4th down because it was a short pass out to the flat. If you only got a few yards on it, it would have been 4th and manageable. Obviously, 4th and really manageable here as they're lining up to go for it.
4th and 1 from the 36. Panthers looking to prowl for a first down. Orsino taking it right into the teeth of the defensive line. Oh boy, it's going to be based on the spot, but I think he got it.
Yeah, Orsino's a tough runner. He's always falling forward when he gets the football. Great downhill run there, and he charges forward for the first down. So again, Chapman going no huddle right now. They're looking over to the sideline, getting the play call. I love this tempo of this offense.
Orsino is 3 for 24 on the ground right now. Pacheco's 2 for 30 with that touchdown. Yellen in the shotgun once again. A fresh set of downs on the Sage Hen 35. Orsino, 3rd straight carry, rolling out right. Defense was ready. Finally, they take him down for a gain of 1. Felt like that was the Achilles heel so far in this game, just the rushing attack for Chapman, and finally Orsino gets stifled.
Well, they've committed to the run in this game, and last time these teams played, they threw a lot. I think they want to get back on the ground, control that clock that they're so good at.
Orsino had 2 rushing touchdowns last game out in Laverne. He's going to take a seat on this possession. rather on this snap. On the left now is the backup Fisher Hutz, the sophomore from Fullerton. Yellen looking up the middle. Pass caught by Cade Zimmerman out near the 30, we'll call it the 25, and then taken down at the 21, moving the sticks for a gain of 14.
That was a great job by Joey Yellen, just taking what the defense gives you, right? They're playing really far off on those receivers. Zimmerman stops, turns around, makes the grab, and moves the chains.
Chapman's offense, the most efficient in the conference. Led the SCIAC in yards. Pomona-Pitzer, though, only conceded 19.5 points per game. One of the best defenses in the conference. Very balanced attack here for the Panthers. 1st and 10 from the 23, nearing the red zone. Play action, far side. Brandon Manzino with his 3rd reception. Gains 5 yards.
He has nice hands, and they like to get him in the pass game involved. Sideline to sideline. I love their play calling right now. They're really dynamic, mixing up the run and the pass as they enter here in the red zone.
Nearing the end of the first quarter, Chapman scored on their opening drive. They went 75 yards in just about 5 minutes. Felt like Pomona-Pitzer could answer, but they got stifled on the 4th and 1 opportunity. 2nd and 7. Yelling out wide. Pass is complete. Tyler Pacheco able to reel it in. Wow. What a grab.
That was a great catch. That ball seemed to me to be a little late, but Pacheco still made the grab anyways. See, he kind of clutches it. Wasn't quite sure about it, but great job on that pitch and catch.
1st and 10 from the 11 now. Ursino to the right. Yellen in the shotgun. Gio Ursino on the carry, hopping through a couple of tacklers and finally taken down inside the 10. Gain of 3 on the run.
Flock of sage hens on that one, Jonathan, right? But yeah, Gio Ursino just getting up the middle there, getting yards and falling forward. He's so tough to bring down. Low center of gravity as this one goes into the second quarter.
And that will be it here for quarter number 1 of the SCIAC Championship. The Panthers looking to repeat. The Sage Hens looking for their first ever in program history. Quarter number 2 on the other side. You're watching SCIAC Football Championships on Flow Sports. Minutes in the books here. Welcome back to the SCIAC Football Championship on Flow Sports. Drew Ferris, Jonathan Rifkin. A gorgeous fall afternoon here in Pomona, California. Mount Baldy overlooking us with its snow-capped top. And right now it's the Chapman Panthers overlooking the end zone. They have a full backfield direct snap to Tyler Pacheco. Now he's going to throw it in. Touchdown, Quinton Peibel. My goodness, what a play for the Panthers.
Love that play call there. Tyler Pacheco looks like he was going to run it over on the right side, and last minute pulls back, finds his man, Quinton Peibel, in the end zone. Just a great pitch and catch there. Awesome play.
Second team All-SCIAC a season to go. 4th touchdown of the season for the senior tight end out of Alyssa Viejo. And Tyler Pacheco with his 2nd passing touchdown of the season. He has a rushing touchdown. He has a passing touchdown. The PAT is up and through. What a luxury, Drew, for this coaching staff to have a Swiss Army knife like Tyler Pacheco.
He is a catalyst for this offense, almost the X factor for the whole team. And as you can see here, he's running to the right side. He becomes a passer at the last second, pulls back and throws the ball. And the threat of him running the ball just sucks up that defense towards the line of scrimmage. You find Bible in the back of the end zone for a touchdown.
A dangerous attack here for the Panthers. Joey Yellen doesn't even need to be under center in order for this team to find success. And we're seeing a different approach here offensively by the Panthers than what we saw when they played each other back in October.
Yeah, they're able to run the ball early in the game. Now, they committed to the run the last time these two teams played, but they weren't really successful running the ball until late in the game. And they've been able to run the ball really effectively early on.
Jags Hudson is going to do the kickoff honors. And it's taken inside the end zone here. And some good blocking, and then a spun around by Garrett Roach into the Pomona sideline. Will set this one down near the 24-yard line on the return for the Sage Hens.
Yeah, great kickoff coverage by Chapman there, and really tough physical football play there. I mean, as illegal as it looks, it's not, because he grabbed him by the front of the shoulder. But if the defender was to grab him in the horse collar there and drag him down in the back of his pads, it would be a penalty.
Drive number 2 here coming up for the Sage Hens. Russo in the shotgun. He has Colin Goman, the junior running back, to his left. It's a low snap. Line collapsing, and Russo is going to be wrestled down. A huge sack on the play as the defense takes advantage of the snapping mistake. The sack coming here by Johnny Breen, the sophomore from Bainbridge Island, Washington.
Well, Russo wasn't even expecting the snap. I mean, he was still looking at the defense pre-snap, and it's a low snap, and he just didn't have any chance on that play. So great job by Chapman taking advantage of that one.
So that one was a double whammy. He wasn't ready, and it was a bad snap.
And he's looking into the sun.
Chapman did score in this direction on their opening drive. Looking to pass a little early on the release. He was searching for Joaquin Valdez, who already has a reception here tonight. And that sets up a 3rd and 18 for the Sage Hens. A team that isn't necessarily built offensively to get huge chunks of yardage. They're very meticulous normally about how they move the football.
Yeah, they have a tougher time moving the ball here, so this is not the situation that they want to be in.
Russo has Valdez in motion. Rolling out right, shaded by a duo of Panthers. Dumps it down in the flat. And maybe 9 yards back here for Mitchell Rodenbaugh. But the punting crew is going to have to come out after the 3 and out here by the Sage Hen offense.
Yeah, Alexander Terequez looks like he made that play, and he's a high motor player. I mean, watching him on film, and Russo just doesn't like what he sees, rolls out to the right, finds his offensive guy.
Yeah, for Terequez to go from spying the quarterback to making that tackle is incredibly impressive. 5th in the conference in tackling, 8.5 tackles for loss. One of the best linebackers in Division III out of Chino Hills and Ontario Christian High School. There is some antics going on at the 30 as that punt is taken by Amir Adams, one of the best punt returners in the nation. Deep into red zone territory near the 25. I am shocked that the officials missed what seems like a wrestle match on the 25-yard line prior to the punt.
Oh, Amir Adams, we haven't called his name this afternoon yet, but great job fielding that ball, sprinting and getting underneath it, catching it on the run. And he takes it for a huge gain already in opponent territory.
Led the conference in receiving a season ago, leads the conference in punt returns this season. San Diego, California, and Mount Carmel High School products. Came under the great coaching staff of Drew Westling and Coach Tamapeu. Yellen in favorable field position. Has a man on the move. Ursino takes the handoff through the teeth of that defensive line. And to keep those legs churning for a nice gain of 7 on the play.
Looking back at the result of that punt, I mean, they might as well have gone for it on 4th down for the Sage Hens. But yeah, Ursino just getting tough yards here, controlling the clock. Great job running up the middle here. Got a 3rd quarterback in there for Chapman.
Yeah, Luke Peterman, the backup. senior quarterback from Tustin, who had 51 attempts this season for 777 yards. Also 9 touchdowns, is in the game. Orsino takes the handoff, though, on 2nd and 5. Gets 2 out of it. 3rd and 3 upcoming.
Yeah, and they're committing to the run. Looks like we have a Sage Hen down here.
Yeah, that's going to be Omaru Kone, the senior defensive lineman from Chicago, who is one of the leaders on that D-line. 29 tackles this season, 3 tackles for loss, and they're going to check on him. So we will step aside here briefly, but first, another look at that run here by Orsino. I mean, the job by the offensive line, Drew, to open up pockets for Gio Orsino is really difficult for the Sage Hens to manage.
Right, and the Sage Hens, they have a pretty good defensive front. I think they have a really solid front 7. They're tough on the D-line. They have good linebackers. Chapman's just so diverse in their offense. You don't know what's coming next, and they do a great job mixing up the run and the pass. Passes out to the flat. They've thrown the ball down the field. They've had Tyler Pacheco come in and mix it up. I hope he's okay here for the Sage Hens.
Pacheco has accounted for both of the Panther touchdowns, one on the ground, one through the air. He has 31 rushing yards. Manzino has 4 receptions for the Panthers. And I think that the Sage Hens offensively, Drew, they're going to try and find ways to continue to create for Quentin Wimmer. And they have to, because he is such an integral part of their offense.
Yeah, they need to get him the ball more. I know Grady Russo is coming back and playing in this game, and they want to get him opportunities, and he is arguably one of their best offensive players. But, yes, they have to get Quentin involved in multiple facets. They love using him all around the field.
Good to see Kona's okay. So the Panthers are being urged back on the field, as the clock will continue to wind now. You might see a back and forth between Yellen and Peterman. Right now, Peterman is in the shotgun. On the move goes Zimmerman. Hand off Orsino, no play action. Zimmerman left all alone, and he is taken out right prior to the touchdown opportunity. But still, the defense recovering well, but the offense gets the ball at the 4-yard line.
And that's why you run the ball, Jonathan. It was that play action. There's a great job by Peterman rolling out to his left, finding Zimmerman in the flat. But again, this is why you run the football. Orsino up the middle, everyone bites. Peterman gets the ball out to Zimmerman, and he does the rest. Great job on that offense.
Irvine, California. 3rd stop for him. Started his career in New Mexico, then Division II Black Hill State in South Dakota. Here he is in the Chapman black and white. Handoff Orsino. No, keep for Peterman. And he is in. Touchdown Panthers. Luke Peterman, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season. And it is all Panthers here in the first half. 20-0 pending the PAT.
It's all Chapman here in this first half. It's a great job there by Peterman getting in. Tough yards, and again, play fake to Orsino. Just that threat of him getting the ball opens up the rest of that offense.
PAT up and good. 21-0.
Chapman, again, we've talked about their offense doing a great job, right, mixing up. And not only are they moving the ball, Jonathan, but they're not committing the penalties that we saw them commit in that first game, that first matchup between these two over at Chapman Stadium. So they're doing a great job being disciplined, mixing up the pass and the run, getting multiple players involved, keeping this Pomona-Pitzer defense on their heels. And offensively for Pomona, like you said, they're not getting Quentin Wimmer involved as much as they should, and Russo's a lot of pressure on him to make plays. And the last drive that they had a missed snap, right? A huge sack on first down, so they have to win on first and second down, like they were doing in that first drive that they had, and just move the ball and climb back in this game.
That drive for Chapman once again ending with the touchdown. As this ball is going to be let go for a touchback for the Sage Hens. So what do the Sage Hens have to do here, Drew, to try and respond? Offense has been hard to come by. They went 3 and out their last offensive possession, and Chapman's defense has come to play.
Well, mentally, they need to think this ball game is 0-0, right? Even though it's obviously 21-0, they need to go out there one play at a time and just win on first down, right? And let the pieces fall into place. They're facing an uphill battle against a really stout Chapman defense. That's right now they've been able to pin their ears back with this big lead. So Sage Hens has got to get something going on first down.
Yards have been difficult to come by for the Sage Hens. They were driving early on in their first drive, but got stifled in opponent territory on a 4th and 1. Russo is alone. Time to pass up the middle, has Wimmer. And this is what they need out of their big wide receiver, continuing to push the pile. Gets 11 yards in the first down.
Yeah, and Chapman, they're playing far off. You know, they're just keeping everything in front of them, and just great job by Russo, recognizing Wimmer underneath, getting the ball out quickly, allowing him to make a play and turn up the field and get yardage. Great job by Wimmer and Russo on that one.
Pomona averaging 3 yards per play. Russo tries to keep it, and he is eaten alive. Tyler Hill, his 9th tackle of the season and his first sack, taking down Russo for a loss of 3 on the play.
Tyler Hill really bringing the boom on that one. And Rousseau's really tough to bring down. And, again, you just can't take a sack on first down, right? They did a great job on that last first down, getting a first down, but you have to win on first down and not put yourselves in these second and longs.
Hill missed his only game of the season in the season finale at Laverne, the regular season finale. Loss of 2 makes it 2nd and 12 here from the 34 for the Sage Hens. Colin Goman, the junior running back from Colorado, to the left of Russo. Wimmer's on the move. He's looking that way. That's the other Wimmer who makes the grab, but quickly taken down after a gain of 5 on the play. Sander Wimmer with his 28th reception of the season.
And Russo knew where he was going with the football pre-snap, right? The other Wimmer went in motion, and that Wimmer came underneath, and he knew which Wimmer would be open on that one, right? On Sanders on that one. So it was a great job recognizing the defense on that.
3rd and 8. Russo, far side. Wimmer can't bring it in. Good coverage by Rennick Martin, the senior from Chula Vista, an East Lake Titan. And a punting situation upcoming here for the Sage Hens again.
Yeah, that's an interesting decision to throw that ball across the field there. You had Quentin Wimmer underneath over the middle, and looks like he committed to throwing to Sanders before even checking his other reads, but not the result you want for the Sage Hens. Now give him the ball back to Chapman.
Punters Jack Walker. Amir Adams had a nice return. His previous time fumbled it, brought it in, and steps out of bounds. Boy, a rare fumble. Or I guess a bumble. He didn't fumble the football, but it took a second for him to secure possession. Nonetheless, though, he was out of bounds at the 32-yard line. And we'll see here which quarterback the Panthers bring out. We saw Peterman on the last drive. He kept it for the touchdown. Pacheco has the other 2 here, the Swiss Army knife running back hybrid. And Peterman is going to come back out here.
Interesting decision. Maybe Yellen's hurt, or they're just trying to get him reps. But Luke Peterman having great command of this offense as soon as he stepped on the field.
The Vuvuzelas continue to reign on here in the Inland Empire. 1st and 10 from the 32. Up the middle, Wimmer. Oh, he would have had it, but it's intercepted. Charlie Russo, the benefit of flag flies. He fumbles the football, and it's jumped on by Kalani Pickett. The Sage Hens have it for the moment on a hectic football play.
I think they might be calling pass interference on the Sage Hens.
So the pass was intended for Legman. He tripped prior to the ball being released. The ball still came at him. He fumbled it. It was picked up by Russo. And no, it's defensive holding, so we're going to nullify that entire play.
Yeah, I think he fell on the ground because of a defensive hold. And that's an interesting set of events here. Peterman finds his receiver falling on the ground, and Russo intercepts the pass, and then he takes a shot from
Amir Adams.
The ball gets on the ground there. Interesting series of events that we just witnessed.
You think the home fans agree?
Doesn't sound like it, Jonathan.
1st and 10 from the 42. So the benefit after all of that is a fresh set of downs here and a gain of 10 for the offense. Peterman in the shotgun. Ursino to his right. Immediately to Gio. Ursino, the defense was ready, but Ursino continuing to move those wheels. And Kalani Pickett had his number, but got shed like old snakeskin.
Well, that was a great job by Kalani Pickett coming down from the corner position. He's a great tackler, and we've seen that on his film this year, and he recognizes it right away, right? And that's a great job reading that as a defender. He just has to wrap up and finish that tackle. But Kalani Pickett, he's a tough kid, man. I love watching him play.
One of the best in the business. 2 interceptions, a couple of pass breakups, 20 tackles this season. 2nd and 6 after the 4-yard gain. Play action, Peterman to Adams, who reels it in right at the line to gain. It's going to depend on the spot. I think they're going to give him about a half a yard shy, but that's his first reception here today.
And that was a great job by Adams, recognizing that defender is 10 yards off of him, and Luke Peterman as well, recognizing that, breaking off his route, and getting a nice 9-yard gain.
5 receiving touchdowns on the season for Adams. 17th reception coming right there. 277 yards now. Defense piling up the line. Peterman, handoff, and immediately the line is jumped and blown up on the play. Andrew Latu goes backwards. And perhaps a 3rd down stop here can give the juice to the Sage Hens that they need to get back into this game.
Yeah, and the Sage Hens, they need to do a lot of gang tackling against these runners for Chapman because they keep moving their feet, falling forward. Great positive momentum here for the Sage Hens on that play.
First time here today, we will see Carson Nichols, the sophomore from El Dorado Hills and a transfer from Eastern Kentucky. 31 attempts for 1,152 yards this season. That's 31 yards per punt. Out near the 40s where it goes. Fair catch will allow this ball to continue to trickle. If it's caught up to, this could be dangerous, but just a moment too late on the effort as it dribbles into the end zone for a touchback.
I have to point out one thing on that play. The long snapper on coverage there, he was playing the returner. And Jonathan, in that situation, you're not supposed to play the returner. You need to play the ball. So he should have sprinted to the goal line, flipped his hips, and located the football on that one. Great snap by Robert Crowell.
So you think that Crowell should have been the one out there to tap that football down?
He slowed up. He played the returner on that one. He should have went to the goal line and looked for the ball.
1st and 10 from the 25. Looking deep to throw. Russo, and flags are flying all over the place. Like it's Flag Day here in Pomona-Pitzer. The pass was intended for a Wimmer. On coverage for Chapman was Caleb Padrid.
I didn't really see any pass interference on that one, Jonathan. By Caleb Padrid. It didn't look like he was doing much on that, but that's why I'm not wearing
the stripes,
the black and white, right?
All of us are better off that way. So this is going to be a gain of 15 on the PI. Caleb, a sophomore out of Dublin, California.
Gets his hands on him a little bit.
College of San Francisco, rather. I guess it's the City College of San Francisco, but you catch my drift. Full backfield here, 3-2 set. Handoff, short gain, and the first time we've seen somebody who wasn't Russo rushing the football for the Sage Hens. This is Mitchell Rodenbaugh, the freshman running back.
The Sage Hens have gotten away from the run game, and they really need to get back to it. I know they're down 21-0, but there's plenty of time left in this ball game to commit to the run.
Trickling towards 6.5 minutes in the first half. Russo looking for a Wimmer. One-on-one coverage. There was a bump, no flag. And this time lockdown coverage by Caleb Padrid.
Well, they're trying to take some shots here to Wimmer and get him involved. And again, they love using him all over the field. It's a nice pass here by Russo. Get some air under the football. Just couldn't quite connect on that one, leading to a 3rd and long.
Boy, I hope the FCC isn't listening to this broadcast because some of these home fans are letting the officials know how they feel. 3rd and 7, 6:25 to go in the first half. Russo dancing out left, and he is taken down for a huge loss on the play. And another sack. Alexander Tariquez, the senior from Chino Hills, is in for another sack here today.
Tariquez, a high motor player, right? He's such a big factor on this defense, coming up big with the sack. But that was a coverage sack, Jonathan. He didn't have anyone open in the back end of that defense. It was a great job by Chapman locking that play up.
Boy, and just when you felt like Pomona-Pitzer was garnering some momentum, stopping the Panthers and forcing a punt. Beneficiaries of a pass interference on the first play of this drive, and they go backwards the next 3 plays. Adams makes the grab with Jonathan Varcados right in his face. And the 44-yard line is where this drive will begin for Chapman.
Chapman starting with exceptional field position on all of their drive thus far. They've only had 1 punt in this ball game. Offense is firing on all cylinders. And on that punt play, you're noticing the gunners out there, right? 2 on the right side and 4 out there for Chapman. That's a double vice. It's when they have 2 guys on 1 gunner, it's a double vice. And they're really committed to trying to set up a big return, which we've already seen one in this first half.
Joey Yellen back out there. Took the last 2 drives off for Peterman. 1st and 10 from the 44. Orsino looping around the right side, and he is immediately greeted and taken down by Derek Petrisco, the senior defensive lineman from Fort Lauderdale.
That was a great job by Petrisco there, using his hands to get off the block, right? You see here he's playing left defensive end. He sheds the offensive guy and gets his hands on wraps up Orsino. It's a great defensive play there.
Still a gain of 1. Orsino, even when he's perceptibly taken down really quickly, he still finds ways to get productive yardage out of it. And now we're going to see that shift. Here's Tyler Pacheco, Orsino to his left. They're going to fake the toss, and Pacheco's going to keep it, weaving his way through the defense. Out near the 50 is where this play is blown dead. And
they're saying they have the football.
There was a fumble. Will the Sage Hens recover it? We have yet to see an official make any sort of gesture.
They might have called forward progress on that, Jonathan.
You think the play was blown dead before the fumble happened?
I believe that is the case, and Chapman's going to remain possession of this football. But again, great job by the Sage Hens, just swarming, right? I mean, they do a little fake end around, and no one's really fooled, and the Sage Hens rally to the football. Yeah, see, he's held up there, and eventually,
yeah, Orsino misses it. Boy, there is a lot of off-ball antics going on the near side. Quentin Bible was jawing with Iman Glasscock, but an illegal substitution here on the Sage Hens will nullify that, and it's going to be a first down in opponent territory for the Panthers.
Yeah, illegal substitution, that's tough. Another penalty prolonging this drive for Chapman, and if you're the Sage Hens, this is not how you want it. Dwindle down to the second quarter here with Chapman approaching another score.
4.5 to go here in the first half. Drew Ferris, Jonathan Rifkind, our entire TVX crew and Flow Sports squad on hand with you for the SCIAC Championship. Yellen hands it off, bouncing out left is Huss. And this time it is a fumble, and this time the Sage Hens will recover. As Rasheed Wallace once said, the ball don't lie.
And the Sage Hens, in that first matchup that they played against Chapman earlier this year, they won the turnover battle. And Chapman, this is a thorn in their side here, turning the ball over. And I know that's got to be frustrating for Chapman, but putting the ball on the ground, giving the Sage Hens more opportunities late in this second quarter is not what you want if you're Chapman.
First fumble of the season for the sophomore running back from Fullerton. Came into the game with 57 yards on the ground. He had 18 yards and a touchdown in the season finale, the regular season finale at Laverne. But the Sage Hens continuing to battle for momentum. Can the offense reward the defense? 2 consecutive drives they've stopped Chapman, but they've come up empty at least the first time. We'll see if Russo and company can get the job done here. He's in the pistol. First pistol we've seen here this afternoon. Now he's in the shotgun. Clock winding down to 2. Russo, blitz coming, dumps it down, pass is complete, and it goes for a sizable gain here for the Sage Hens. Mitchell Rodenbach again on the receiving end in the flat.
Great job by Russo, just not trying to force a bad pass. getting the ball out, recognizing the blitz, like you said, Jonathan, and making a second and manageable. Got to get points on the board here if you're the Sage Hens.
Well, and that's the key, Drew, right? If the blitz is coming, somebody is open. So if you can find that man quick enough and beat the blitz, you're going to find success.
Replace the blitz with the ball.
Russo to Wimmer. That's a first down as he continues to fight across the 40. My goodness, this guy is a bulldozer. He will not go down. Finally taken down by Caleb Padrid, but not before a huge gain on the play.
And Quentin Wimmer, even before he was breaking those tackles, Jonathan, he knew he was going to take a hit just to catch the ball, turn upfield. Just a great job by Russo getting the ball there.
And right
Wimmer.
between the two DBs, right? That's the pinpoint that you want.
Exactly.
1st and 10. Second time here in opponent territory for the Sage Hens. Dumped up the middle. Wimmer facing some contact. No flag is thrown. Great coverage by Harrison Donato, the senior linebacker from Waipahu, Hawaii, and Kamehameha High School.
Yeah, it looked like the defender there was a bit early on that one, and I understand why the fans here are upset. You can see on the replay here, Wimmer coming underneath. They love having him cross
right
the
there.
formation.
Absolutely, He was held.
There was a lot of contact before the ball got there. Chapman getting away with one there.
2nd and 10. Russo in this offense looking to shake it off. Play action, dancing right, running out of time and space, and he gets laid out as that ball is thrown away. On the pressure for Chapman was Mason Kubicek.
I can see what the Sage Hens are trying to do on offense, right? They're trying to do some play action, trying to get Russo running out to the right, his right-handed quarterback running to the field, but they're not doing a great job blocking up front and giving his quarterback some time. He seems to be under duress every other play here for the Sage Hens.
Yeah, the Chapman blitz is really disrupting things. 70 yards through the air so far for the Sage Hens. Chapman is 97, but it's been the running game that has been so successful for them. 3rd and 10. The Chapman Panther fans making noise of their own. Blitz coming up the middle. Pass is caught by Wimmer out near the 25. Sander Wimmer's second reception here this afternoon, and the drive continues for Pomona-Pitzer.
It has been a Wimmer type of drive here for the Sage Hens, and great job by Russo, trusting his guy to go up and make a play over the middle of that defense. Great job.
But you can't spell Wimmer without, I guess you can't say Wimmer without the win. Wim. Didn't quite work. Whistles are blown here. I think we're going to get a timeout on 1st and 10 from the 25. No, false start. I didn't see the flag thrown. Oh, here it is on the 30.
Yeah, again, another penalty for the Sage Hens, and it's just going to kill a drive. And like I said before, you have to win on 1st down. They got to come away with points on this drive. They've done a great job moving the ball thus far as we approach halftime.
1st and 15 now. At the 30, Russo empty set. Pressure coming. Wimmer in the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Quentin Wimmer diving in the end zone for his 7th touchdown of the season. And Pomona-Pitzer is on the board.
A great deep ball throw by Grady Russo, trusting his man Quentin Wimmer to go get it, throws it over the middle of the field, and they love doing that one-on-one. And if you're not quite good enough 11-on-11, Jonathan, you like to go one-on-one, and there's no better guy on this team than Quentin Wimmer to do just that.
A packed house at Merritt Field, and they are voicing their elation right now for their team. They are on the board. PAT up. PAT is good. Okay, so momentum now shifting a little bit towards Pomona-Pitzer.
Yeah, and you saw here, they brought the house a little bit. Great job by the offensive line, giving his quarterback some time, and a beautiful ball thrown on the inside shoulder for Quentin Wimmer, making it really tough for the defender to get over the top of that. But he hangs in the pocket, steps up, puts some air under that great spiral, and just a great diving catch. I mean, beautiful play for the Sage Hens.
He has about 4 inches on Caleb Padrid right there, and you saw it on that play.
Big, lengthy receiver, long arms, really strong player for the Sage Hens. And they've used him underneath. They've used him on some run plays. And that play right there, big play for the Sage Hens.
Wimmer is 5 for 72 and a touchdown here in the first half.
He's cooking here this afternoon.
Team's 11 receptions so far. Russo 11 for 17 for 111. Yellen is 8 for 11 for 69, and Peterman is 3 for 3 for 28. Here's the kickoff, taken near the 10. And using the wide side of the field to try and gain an edge, but Manzano is taken down just past the 25.
Good coverage units there for the Sage Hens, and trying to do a little field return there. But if you're Chapman, a little 2-minute drill here, Jonathan. I mean, interesting to see what they do at quarterback here. If Peterman comes back in or if Yellen takes over again. And they like to rotate the quarterback, change the pace here. But you can't sleep on these Sage Hens now. A lot of football left to play, and it's going to be a close battle.
And that's the key. Nobody's out of this one. The Sage Hens have played from behind twice this season. Both of Chapman's losses came when they were trailing at the half. They have not lost a game this year trailing at the half. That is a key. Yellen is back out there. So is Ursino, who gains a yard and a half on the run. Looked like he may have actually lost the football for a second, but brought it back in.
Yeah, ball security is going to be such a big factor in this ball game, and just winning the turnover battle, winning the battlefield position, right? Winning the time of possession, penalties, all of these factors that come together to figure out who wins.
2-minute warning. We will step aside. 21-7. Chapman has the ball, 2nd and 10. When we return, you're watching the SCIAC Football Championship on Flow Sports. SCIAC Football Championship Year 2, mirroring a little bit of Year 1 when Chapman beat Pomona-Pitzer in the inaugural SCIAC Football Championship. Drew Ferris, Jonathan Rifkin, our entire crew on hand for you at Pomona-Pitzer. It's a 2nd and 8 from the 28 for Chapman. Just out of the 2-minute warning, Ursino finding a crease, staying on his feet and gutting out an 11-yard gain for the first down. Gio Ursino, it felt like the defense may have adjusted to him just a little bit after a dominant first quarter, but they're ripping off a nice run.
Yeah, and they're going to go hurry up here. They're looking to put some points on the board before the half. Yellen calling for the ball.
Yellen in the shotgun. Haven't seen him go to Amir Adams all but once so far up the middle, though. He has Quinton Bible, who fumbles the football. No, they're going to call it incomplete. He did not gain full possession before losing it, so it will be incomplete.
Yeah. You had Bible just didn't quite secure the ball there. But great job by Yellen, stepping up in the pocket, feeling the pressure. Ball was just slightly behind him, but he never really secured the ball and tucked it away.
If he took the full step before, that would have been a football move.
He was trying to chew gum and walk at the same time, Jonathan.
It's hard for even the most efficient walkers and gum chewers out there. 2nd and 10. Dumped down, caught. There's Amir Adams, and this guy can fly as two Sage Hens collide. Amir Adams able to take it for 12 yards and a first down at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, great job by Yellen again, finding his open receiver, looking underneath, just taking what the defense gives you. And Amir Adams doing the rest. They're going to go tempo here, looking over to the sideline, finding the play call. Clapping for the ball is Yellen.
Clock trickling to 1:18 now. Neither of these teams too fond of kicking field goals. Chapman is looking for the guts and glory. This is going to be thrown away after pressure came. The home fans want to hold, the away fans want a roughing the passer, and the officials don't throw a flag.
Yeah, they were trying to find Gian Lagman over there in a deep post route. Didn't love what he saw. Great decision there just to throw that one away. And it's tough if your Sage hands look like there's a little bit of a hold there.
6 different Panthers have caught a reception here so far. Hagman is not one of them. 2nd and 10. Yellen has a man wide open. It's caught by Pacheco out across the 40. Gain of 11. Chapman marching here with 60 seconds to go. Clock will start here when the ball is spot.
And you can see Yellen with so much confidence on this drive. And you think with a quarterback to go out for a few drives, come back in the game, looks like he hasn't missed a beat.
Here's Ursino, low center of gravity, forcing that ball out across the 45. And I think Chapman's going to burn a timeout here to stop the clock.
Big lane 40 pulling over there on the right, from the left side to the right side. It's a great job there by Ursino, following his man, getting positive yardage. He's really tough to bring down.
So how much is running the football here under a minute to go in the half part of the strategy versus an adjustment knowing the defense is going to play the pass?
Well, it shows a lot of confidence in your offense, right? If you're running the football at this point in the ball game under 2 minutes, you know, it's showing that, hey, we're going to move the football, we're going to hit on our pass plays, we're going to go tempo here. And also, it doesn't leave any time left for the Sage Hens, assuming they score, right? So if you're throwing the ball every down and you're getting incomplete passes, it stops the clock. You know, if Sage Hens force a 3 and out, it just gives them the ball back with maybe a minute 30, minute 20 left. So they're having a lot of confidence in this offense, moving the ball down the field, mixing up the run and the pass again, setting themselves up for at least a long field goal attempt.
Gorgeous day here in Pomona. Through the Inland Empire, surrounded by the mountains. It's 65 degrees. There's a slight breeze. Football championships here in the SCIAC. A rematch from last year. A rematch from October 19th when Pomona-Pitzer won 21-17. Chapman, though, in that game accrued 13 penalties for 128 yards and also got blocked twice on the punt. Pressure's coming, screen pass Ursino, out across the 30, veering to the 20, shedding a tackle out near the 15, and with under 30 seconds to go, red zone offense time now for the Panthers.
I absolutely love that play call because you're in a position on the field where you maybe can take a shot. Everyone's expecting you to pass, right? And they set up a screen because you know the Sage Hens were coming after the quarterback there. Is a great job by Chapman calling that play.
Ursino continuing to be the all-purpose guy on offense.
Yeah, you can see you're in the fringe point of the field here. You're over by the 35-yard line. And a great job by Yellen, attracting the rush, being a passer as long as possible, dipping it off to Ursino. It's a huge gain for Chapman.
Right now, both teams struggling on 3rd down here in the first half, but the discrepancy is pretty significant because Pomona-Pitzer has had more 3rd down opportunities than Chapman has had. Chapman is 1 for 3. Pomona-Pitzer is 1 for 6.
And on the season, they're 46% on 3rd down, right? So you think Chapman would have the advantage. But yes, like you said, Jonathan, they haven't had a lot of 3rd down opportunities because they've been moving the ball so well. So again, you go to that time of possession stat for Chapman, and they've just been dominating on the time of possession here in this first half. 16 minutes versus nearly 12 minutes for the Sage Hens.
29 seconds to go. Ursino a couple of steps further to the left of Yellen than normal. Yellen rolling out left, looking towards his receivers. Fade towards the end zone. Incomplete, intended for Cade Zimmerman.
Yeah, he had Brendan Manzino underneath. Thought he maybe should have thrown that ball sooner right underneath there. But again, there's 23 seconds left on the clock. They're trying to maintain as many ticks on that clock as possible.
Jax Hudson this season 4 for 6.
Yeah, you can see Manzino underneath there, and I thought maybe he'd throw it to him, give him an opportunity to turn up field and score a touchdown.
Junior kicker for Chapman, 4 for 6 from field goal, as long as 26. Second and 10 from the 15. Yellen to Ursino. Defense was playing in the end zone. Ursino gets a nice chunk of yardage before being tracked down by Daniel Drucker, the linebacker.
That is really tough for Chapman. He should have got out of bounds there and stopped the clock, but that forces Chapman to use their last timeout in this situation.
So now you have to go for the end zone. You basically get one shot here on 3rd down, right, and then you're kicking the field goal.
Correct. I mean, and not only do you get one shot on 3rd down, your play calling ability just shrinks into a quarter of maybe what you would normally do in this situation because you don't have that timeout, right? Because you had to burn it just now. So if he would have gotten out of bounds there, stopped the clock, allowed them to keep their timeout, now in this play, you have to take a quick shot at the end zone to make sure there's time left on the clock to kick that field goal.
Opening drive, touchdown by Tyler Pacheco for Chapman. After a 3-and-out, Joey Yellen had Quentin Bible in the end zone. It was actually Pacheco. They in the statute, they gave it to Yellen. That'll have to be changed, but it was Pacheco to Bible for a touchdown to put Chapman up 14-0. And then Chapman went up 21-0 after Luke Peterman carried it into the end zone on a quarterback keeper. But then Grady Russo found Quentin Wimmer for a 30-yard touchdown to give the Sage Hens some life here, trailing 21-7, trying to shut the door on Chapman here at the end of the first half defensively. 12 seconds to go. Joey Yellen with a sea of vuvuzelas ringing in his ears. Gets a block, fade right side. Flags are going to be thrown as quite obviously Cade Zimmerman was taken down.
Yeah, and if you're Pickett over there playing corner, you know that this is coming. I mean, this is a jump ball to the end zone. It's one of the few plays you can run, given.
And that's a killer here for the Sage Hens. That was on 3rd down.
It really was, but it also creeps them closer to the end zone here. But, again, you should know this play is coming. It's one of the few plays that they can do, throwing to the end zone in the back of the end zone. So
Pickett, a sophomore out of Oceanside High School. Our good friends on One Pirate Way in the northern tip of San Diego County. First and goal from the 5 for the Panthers. 8 seconds to go in the first half. The play clock hits 0 and flags are flying. The fans caught it before the officials. Delay of game coming.
Yeah, that's tough there for Chapman. I mean, might have been some miscommunication getting the play call in or just uncertainty of what play call that Chapman wanted to run. But it doesn't kill them here. It actually might help them a little bit. Just being a little farther away in this situation gives them more space to work with. But the crowd is getting loud with those air horns here, Jonathan.
Yeah, I could barely hear myself up here, much less the hard snap down on the field. Yellen up the middle, has Zimmerman all alone into the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers. Cade Zimmerman is in. His 5th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers are piling it on here in the first half.
Cade Zimmerman, great job floating over the middle, beating his defender, and Yellen just backing up there. It's a little unsportsmanlike conduct there, but Yellen just having the patience, allowing that route to develop, trusting his team with only 3 seconds left on the clock there. Just a great job by the offense in getting that touchdown.
Zimmerman, the wide receiver from Irvine. He went to Irvine High School, then New Mexico, where he had 2 receptions for 33 yards, including a 30-yard reception against San Jose State. Prior to that, he was at Black Hill State. 9 receptions for 108 yards and a touchdown at the Division II level. The PAT is up and good, 28-7 Panthers. Of course, he came with his brother Tate Zimmerman, who plays on the defensive side. He's very good at New Mexico a season ago.
With the extra point good, it puts them up 28-7 there, but you can see Zimmerman just coming across the field, beating his man.
Yeah, Andy Butler had no shot right there.
Just a great pitch and catch there for Chapman to get back to a 3-possession lead.
Pomona-Pitzer will receive the second half kickoff, so unless they allow this one to go to a touchback, they're going to have to find a way to get sparks to fly here with 3 seconds to go in the first half. Jags Hudson to do the honors. It's a squib kick up the middle. Taken at the 30, and the knee is down here with 1 second to go. So this is an offense that wants one more shot.
Maybe Quentin Wimmer here in the end zone, a long pass. I mean, you don't know, but I think if you're the Sage Hens, I think you're probably going to take a knee here.
But why would you take the knee on the squib kick just to take a knee with your quarterback.
Well, that's a coaching decision, right? We'll see.
I'm not wearing my coaching monocle here tonight, or today, or whatever time of day it is. Yeah, you're right. They are going to kneel this thing out and get us to the half. Russo sets it down. The first half belongs to the Panthers here, looking to repeat in the second ever SCIAC Football Championship. A dominant performance, 28-7 through the first 30. And, you know, Drew, it was 7-0 out of the first, but it felt like Chapman was the one with all the momentum. Then after 2 touchdowns, the Sage Hens get 2 stops. They turned one of those into a score, and it felt like, okay, now we got a ball game. But to end this first half, the Panthers come marching again and find pay dirt.
The Panthers' offense is firing on all cylinders. I think they've only punted 1 time in the first half. They've been able to convert not only their third downs, I mean, I think they're 2 for 4 on third down, 50%, but they've been able to move the ball effectively on first and second down, rarely putting themselves in third down position, but they've done a great job with Ursino on the ground, Pacheco on the ground, and the pass game, mixing up the quarterback position. You would think would maybe slow down this offense, but they've been able to rotate in Yellen, Peterman, Pacheco at the quarterback position, Ursino running the football, Zimmerman getting in the action, Adams as well. So they've been doing a great job spreading the ball around, controlling the clock, and just putting it on these Sage Hens, giving them all they can handle.
In 18 minutes of the first half, in terms of time of possession, Chapman was able to collect 248 total yards. They limit the Sage Hens to just 108 total yards. As we will step aside here for a quick halftime timeout. We will return shortly, though. Drew and I will break down that first half and get you ready for half number 2. It's the SCIAC Football Championship on Flow Sports Live from Pomona-Pitzer College. Mount Baldy greeting us here on a fall afternoon from Pomona-Pitzer. Welcome back, everybody, here on Flow Sports. Halftime of the SCIAC Football Championship. Jonathan Rifkind, Drew Ferris. Well, part of Drew Ferris here with you. Delighted to be with you on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon. Drew, the first half dominated by Chapman through the air notably, but their rushing defense has been prominent in the first 30 minutes.
They've only allowed, actually, 0 yards on the ground for Pomona, averaging just 0.3 rushing yards for Pomona-Pitzer. It's going to be really tough to get the offense going without a ground game. But yes, like you said, Chapman has been able to control the clock. They have 17 first downs in this ball game, just compared to Pomona's 7. And they have 19 rush attempts, so they've really committed to the ground game here, and it shows here in the first half.
So how does that change here, right? Because Pomona-Pitzer, they have a dynamic offense, but Chapman seems to have their number. The one exception was the one-on-one coverage into the end zone that had Wimmer scoring the touchdown. What adjustments can Pomona-Pitzer make to try and surprise that Chapman defense?
Well, it's clear that they're not able to just straight up run the football in a smash-mouth football game, so they're going to have to do some misdirection, some screen plays. They have to establish something on the ground, right? They've been able to get Wimmer over the middle a bit, both Wimmers actually, in the pass game, getting them involved, but they're going to have to get something going on the ground to balance out this offense.
Yeah, so far in the first half, it was Quinton Wimmer with 5 receptions for 72 yards in that touchdown. His brother, the other Wimmer, the Sander Wimmer, if you will, he did have 2 receptions for 15 yards. Those were the receiving leaders in the first half for Pomona-Pitzer. On the other side, Chapman, they got production from basically everybody. 7 different pass catchers, 5 different rushers, 2 different quarterbacks. I mean, you can't ask for better depth.
I think 3 different quarterbacks if you're counting Pacheco,
yeah,
lining up at quarterback. But you said it, Jonathan. They have such a balanced offensive attack, getting multiple playmakers involved. And if you're on the other side with the Sage Hens, I mean, Grady Russo has 17 pass attempts. He's on pace to throw the ball 34 times this ball game. That is not going to cut it here for the Sage Hens. They have to balance out this offense. You can't just rely on Grady Russo, as great of an athlete as he is, as great as a quarterback as he is, and he's hit some receivers here in the first half. They have to balance out this offense.
We'll see what the second half has in store. Pomona-Pitzer will receive the second half kickoff when we return. Right now, though, at halftime in the SCIAC Football Championship, Chapman 28, Pomona-Pitzer 7. We'll return for the second half in a couple of minutes here on Flow Sports.
go, Q. Here we go, 30 minutes. Here we go, 9 7. There you go. Cool. Here we go, Jack. Let's go, bud.
Halftime continuing onward here at Pomona-Pitzer. Drew Ferris, Jonathan Rifkin with you for the SCIAC Football Championship on Flow Sports. And, you know, Drew, things really started rolling for Chapman early. They scored on their first 3 drives, but then a fumble and a forced punt allowed Pomona-Pitzer to get a couple of more opportunities. But ultimately, it was the early offense here for Chapman that reigned supreme through the first 30 minutes, including this gorgeous touchdown run by Tyler Pacheco.
Yeah, Pacheco's been a big factor in this ball game, and having those 3 early touchdowns for Chapman, putting a lot of pressure on Pomona-Pitzer to get back into this ball game. And this offense for the Sage Hens has really stalled for the most part in this first half. They're going to have to balance it out, commit to the ground game here for the Sage Hens.
That was the passing touchdown to Quentin Bible. This was the low snap. This was the first of 3 sacks that Russo was on the brunt end of.
Very unnecessary, avoidable sack on that one, but you have to keep Russo off the ground, allow him to make plays.
This is Amir Adams with a really nice punt return, the best in the business in returning punts, setting his team up inside the 35. Eventually, it was the keeper by the backup quarterback,
Luke Peterman.
Peterman able to get in there, and then Russo trying to meticulously work his way up the field, had Quentin Wimmer, who forced a pack of Panthers to take him down, and then Russo trying to do it himself, but cannot eke around Tyler Hill. Chapman got the ball back, and this was a play that was called back for defensive holding, but still hectic in its own right, with the interception turned into a fumble. And then finally some good defense here by the Sage Hens defensive line before Russo was able to set himself up. Well, actually, that was after first he took a big sack.
Again, another sack delaying this offense.
This is the handoff to Fuzz. That goes backwards.
Fumble on that play. Sage Hens were able to recover, and then Russo finding Wimmer out in the flats, carrying defenders with him.
Yeah, this set them up at the 35, Drew. And, well, Wimmer, he said, I'm going to set myself up to try and get into the end zone here. And
found the other Wimmer there.
Yeah, Russo said, I got you, Quentin. You helped me out. I'm going to help you out. Here's a dot into the back of the end zone. That was the Sage Hens' lone touchdown of the first half. And then the response to end the first half, a touchdown by Tate Zimmerman.
Yellen having great patience on that play, finding Zimmerman in the end zone. So Chapman, great job responding to that touchdown from the Sage Hens.
Smith Memorial Tower, completed in 1961. It stands as a prominent campus landmark here. It's a 125-foot structure, houses a 2,350-pound replica of the Statue of Liberty. Rather, the Liberty Bell. My mistake. The Liberty Bell that's up there. Not the Statue of Liberty. It's the Liberty Bell that's up there. And it notably chimes on the 47th minute of each hour as we are underway here in the second half. And on the move come the Sage Hens. They'll begin their first drive from the 27-yard line. The reason the number 47 is so significant is it was 1947 when it was 47 years ago when the tower was constructed. And then Pitzer College, the adjacent college, has the Brandt Clock Tower, which is situated near Plessier Mall. Of course, Pitzer and Pomona, separate colleges coming together to play football. You have Claremont Mudd Scripps, the rival, encompassing a trio of schools. As Russo takes the first snap, it's a screen pass, far side. Jack Susnack breaking away for a moment as Susnack is able to take it to the 45 and then some from Pomona-Pitzer.
Yeah, Pitzer doing a great job on that first down, getting a positive play here, finding his man in the flat, establishing some confidence and getting momentum here. Got to win on first down if you're the Sage Hens.
A gain of 10 on the play. 20. First and 10 from the 45. Here's a ball that goes into the hands of Wimmer as a flag flies. He wasn't ready for it, but the defense wasn't either. But Quentin Wimmer able to reel it in nonetheless.
It might have been defensive holding against Chapman.
I think the penalty goes on Chapman regardless. Yep, and you called it, partner. See, maybe you are wearing the stripes under there.
Well, I'm up in the booth here, Jonathan, as you know, but the reason why I concluded that, because Wimmer looked like he fought back for the ball there, wasn't quite expecting it, but great individual effort by
my goodness,
Wimmer coming back to that football.
13-yard gain, first and 10. Russo is alone. Looking to pass up the middle, overthrown to Wimmer, and then batted down off the right shoulder pad of Colin Keefe, the junior from Orange, California. He does have an interception that came at Cal Lutheran in the regular season.
I like what the Sage Hens are doing here. They're going tempo right now. They're down 3 scores with an offense that doesn't have that quick play ability to get in the end zone. Got to get something here on second down.
124 yards through the air. He's going to keep this one. Gets a nice block. Outright dancing through the line to the 35. He's taken down. But a hard-fought 6 yards for Grady Russo.
And I like that play call. We saw something similar in that first drive in the first half for the Sage Hens, that design run play by Russo, looking like Tim Tebow back there in the orange and blue. This great job by Russo, just taking what the defense gives you.
And Drew played college football at Florida, and he was taken back. Here is a ball towards the end zone, floated, reeled in, and caught. Jackson Walker, the freshman, his first collegiate touchdown, and it comes in the SCIAC championship game.
An absolute dime thrown by Grady Russo over the back shoulder of Jackson Walker, the freshman from San Francisco, coming up huge early in this third quarter. It's a great pitch and catch by Russo, putting the ball where only his man can get it to get back into this ball game.
What a way to get on the board in your collegiate career. Impressive stuff. PAT is up, and it is no good. So 28-13 is where we remain as these games always come down, Drew, to, not always, but these games can come down to missed PATs. We see it all the time in high school. We see it at other levels of the sport, and here, no different. But I think the momentum, regardless, still staying with the Sage Hens for the moment.
Definitely does. And yes, those extra points, those field goals, the special teams, average starting field position. We've seen a big punt return by Amir Adams in this ball game. Winning the battle on special teams is so crucial in football. The first matchup of these two teams, we saw the Sage Hens block a punt, return it for a touchdown, and won the game by 4 points. So they actually blocked 2 punts in that game. One of my old ball coaches, Jonathan, Urban Meyer, would tell us, you block a punt, you win 90% of the time.
Does he still text you that in passing sometimes? Hey, Drew, I just want to remind you. It's
That's
Coach
right.
Meyer, by the way.
He's like, yeah, I know you got a big broadcast coming up. Make sure you say that.
Does Coach want to FaceTime in?
Maybe he's not too busy.
Too busy just covering college football for Fox. That ball is knelt down in the end zone for a touchback. Drew, a San Diego long snapping legend, moved on to play at Florida and then bounced around the NFL before deciding to hang up the boots and join me in the broadcasting booth.
Best decision I ever made in my entire life, Jonathan.
And the most questionable decision I have ever made in my entire life. It's always fun with you, brother. And this is an amazing setting for us to team up with our great crew here at TVX and Flow Sports. As drive number 1 of half number 2 for Chapman begins with a loss on the play. Backwards goes Gio Ursino.
Yeah, great job by the defensive line getting penetration, following the football there. Max Eastman getting into the backfield, disrupting the play. And if you can stop the run of Chapman, force them to be one-dimensional, they did such a great job of that in the last matchup. They're going to need to do that here in the second half.
A loss of 2. It is Luke Peterman. He played 2 drives in the first half. He gets the nod here. Swung out in the flat to Ursino, who continues to push that ball forward out near the 30. We'll call it the 28.5. Closer to the 29. A gain of 6. And third and manageable upcoming here for the Panthers.
Ursino really bailing them out here on this second down play, but I love that play call. Just get him out in the flat, get him in space, allow him to get north and south to make it a third and manageable.
The Vuvuzelas trying to force a hard count here for the backup, Luke Peterman. Ursino to his left. Tight end, 3 wide receivers, play action, Peterman. And he just has to throw this one away. Pressure coming, and the Sage Hen defense locks down the Panthers offense.
On that play, Peterman was looking out to his left, trying to find Jason Bruce, the wide receiver. That defensive back, Russo, was playing way off of him in coverage. He was hoping he was going to break off that route, turn around, look for the football. Bruce never did, turned into a coverage sack, and ultimately a 4th down.
So that'll bring out the punting squad. Feels like a win defensively after the 35-yard touchdown pass from Russo on their previous drive. Punt number 2 coming here for the Panthers. Ooh, this one is almost blocked. It's going to drop, and actually, no, it's going to be taken fair catch style at the 40, but the flag is thrown for disruption.
And a little Legman looks like he touched the returner on that play.
Yeah, Duncan Lee, the returner right there. You saw him bow to the crowd after taking the contact.
But again, penalties and special teams coming up big here in the third quarter for the Sage Hens.
If you're just joining us, no Matthias Olsen. He broke his collarbone. As we get the official call here on the disruption. So Pomona-Pitzer without their best wide receiver, but they found ways to make it work. The freshman Jackson Walker is into the end zone. Quinton Wimmer had a receiving touchdown. And now the Sage Hens return on the offensive side at the 50-yard line.
Favorable field position for the Sage Hens as they look to crawl back into this ball game.
Maybe they're looking to cluck back into this ball game. I don't know what sound Sage Hens make, but I assume it's pretty close to a chicken or a rooster. Jack Susnak into the backfield, and yeah, Russo lost his footing as he dives forward. We're going to give him a loss of 1 on the play.
And again, the Panthers are so stout on the defensive line, and it just really sets the tempo for this entire defense, getting penetration in the backfield. Great job by the Panthers.
Pomona-Pitzer's offense, very creative. We've seen trick plays. We've seen double passes. They tried one in the first quarter. It did not work. Blitz is picked up. Russo taking way too much time. Now he dumps one up the middle. SCIAC able to take it out to the 43-yard line for a gain of 2 on the play. And 3rd and 8 coming here for the Sage Hens.
Well, he had some time there, and Russo finds his man, Jack SCIAC, out in the flat, but again, just not making a bad decision. You're in great field position right now. Got to take what the defense gives you.
Just his 4th reception of the season. Does have 38 carries here to this point. 3rd and 8. Chapman Panther crowd trying to make some noise. Russo bobbled it, gets it, veering forward, and Grady Russo making lemonade out of lemons as he's taken down at the 30.
Great job by Grady Russo, bobbling the snap, looking like it could have been an absolute disaster, but maintains possession of the ball, just becomes a natural athlete, gets north and south, and gets the first down.
And that's the benefit of having a quarterback type like his, is that he can find ways to clean it up. 1st and 10 from the 31, full protection. Wimmer in double coverage. The crowd all stood up in succession, but overthrown nonetheless. 2nd and 10 coming.
They're trying to find Wimmer again in the end zone, and he's been such a factor in this ball game for the Sage Hens in this attempt to come back into this game. And Russo and company looking like they're going to make a splash here in the midway through the 3rd quarter.
The Wimmer twins from Hollis, New Hampshire. Hollis Brookline High School. All 4 years played here with the Sage Hens. 2nd and 10. Flags fly. False start pending here for Pomona-Pitzer.
Yoquan Valdez on that false start for the Sage Hens. And again, penalties really going to set back this offense. It's going to be 2nd and a country mile, Jonathan, here for the Sage Hens.
So I'm from California. What exactly is a country mile?
Well, I'm from California too, and so I'm still trying to figure that out. But
you went to school in Florida, though.
My standard is 2nd and 15 or beyond. 15 yards is a country mile here.
They have an amazing math department here at Pomona College. I'm sure they can let us know what a country mile is. 2nd and 15, up the middle, pass is caught. That's the other Wimmer, Sander Wimmer, who skips his way free and breaks loose for a nice gain on the play. 3rd and manageable coming here for Pomona-Pitzer out near the 26-yard line, a gain of 10.
Well, a little Wimmer on Wimmer action there. Quentin Wimmer setting up a nice block for Sanders Wimmer, getting up the sideline. And again, Russo, great command of this offense, right? Just not making a mistake, scanning, seeing that he's got Sanders underneath, breaking a tackle, and Wimmer getting a nice little block back there for the Sage Hens.
3rd and 5. Russo could keep here. Defense anticipating. Instead, it's a quick pitch and catch to Quentin Wimmer, who barrels his way across the 20 for a gain of 7 on the play. And this Sage Hen offense a lot quicker and a lot sharper than the first 30 minutes of this game.
They're really firing on all cylinders, and that's just a great job recognizing they're playing way far off on Quentin Wimmer. They're scared of that deep threat, so they're playing really far off of him, and great job by Wimmer and Russo both recognizing that coverage.
7th reception for Quentin here this afternoon. The shadows grow long as we hit the back end of this Saturday afternoon at Pomona-Pitzer and the SCIAC Football Championship. Drew Ferris, Jonathan Rifkin, our entire TVX and Flow Sports crew with you. With 2 seconds to go, Russo takes the snap. He pitches it out right. SCIAC trying to fight through the teeth of that Panther line. Gets a gain of 9.
Nice gain there by SCIAC on the ground, and this is something that we didn't see in the first half for the Sage Hens, is a ground game, right? With Russo running the ball, SCIAC getting some carries. This is putting a lot of pressure off of Russo. Again, great job by the offensive line getting some blocks here.
Yeah, and he sheds Alexander Tariquez. Not something a lot of running backs have been able to do in the SCIAC this season. 2nd and 2. They actually moved it back a yard. And this time, same play. Pitch out, near side of the field. The defense all collapsing, but I think that's just enough for the first down.
Let's give these big boys some credit here for the Sage Hens. Matt Donahue, Gabriel Iona, Max Leiden, Lewis Labison there just on a toss sweep out to the right side, to the short side of the field for a few yards. Just blocking down there, getting a hat on a hat, and tough yards for the Sage Hens.
First and goal from the 8. The Sage Hens looking to make this a one-possession football game. They trailed 21-0 and 28-7. Susank goes out wide. That's Wimmer on the move. That's Sander Wimmer all alone, jumping into the end zone. Touchdown, Sage Hens. His 4th receiving touchdown of the year. And it's 28-19 pending the PAT or the 2-point conversion. But they are checking the play on the field, and there is an injured Panther as well.
Hope that.
There's a flag. Oh, there was a flag on the far side of the field. Illegal hands by Joaquin Valdez. Completely away from the play.
That's really tough if you're the Sage Hens to get that penalty. Hopefully we maybe can get another look at it, but a 15-yard penalty to back them away from striking distance. That's really tough here.
Right there in the middle.
That was actually a little bit of a pick play there. They're trying to do a crossing route underneath, and Joaquin to get in the way of that trailing defender.
Shoulder check, right?
You have to look like you're going for the football, Jonathan. You have to look like you're making an attempt to catch the ball, and he did not look at the quarterback 1 second on that pick.
So it's first and goal, but it's from the 23-yard line. Russo's alone, looking out right. He's going to throw a fade to Wimmer. Incomplete. And we'll let the crowd tell you how they feel, as it's going to be second and goal from the 23.
Yeah, that penalty, not to harp on it too much, but it was a really big penalty in this ball game to get them out of striking distance.
You can play your harp whenever you want with me, Drew. There's another look. I like these fades. I like the idea of just letting these Wimmer twins try to cook in one-on-one coverage.
I agree with you, and Chapman had that really well defended there and well covered, and moving on to third down.
Russo's going to keep this one. Head of steam up the middle, scampering through a tackle and into the end zone. 22-yard quarterback keeper for Grady Russo. And things are getting interesting here in the SCIAC Football Championship.
What a phenomenal job by Grady Russo on that touchdown run. Chapman had it well covered in the back end. He saw a lane up the middle of the field, and he was determined to not go down, breaking tackles to get into the end zone. Phenomenal effort by Grady Russo.
All right, so we saw a missed PAT the last time Pomona-Pitzer came out here. Maybe the shadows playing a little bit of an effect. Let's see if Walker can get this one through. And he does. 28-20. So the idea here, Drew, I assume, no matter what, it's a one-possession game. You don't go for two now, just in case you have to go for two later, because at least you're guaranteed a one-possession opportunity.
Correct.
So take another look at it.
Yeah, Grady Russo just not making a bad decision or forcing a bad throw, but great effort just to break tackles, get a nose for the end zone, and falling forward and getting that 6 points. I mean, such a huge play here. You see him breaking a tackle, staying on his feet, falling forward into the end zone. A lot of grit and determination on that run. And you can see a huge difference in this second half for the Sage Hens. And it really comes from the ground game, Jonathan.
It's a completely different team in Pomona-Pitzer here in the third quarter as we wind down. 7:22 to go here. I guess we're not winding down, but nearing the halfway point, if you will. That's the fourth rushing touchdown for for Russo this season.
Really dominant performance here in the third quarter thus far by the Sage Hens.
His boot well into the end zone. Gorgeous kick. My goodness. And our second opportunity to see the Chapman offense. Do you like the tandem quarterback strategy they've been going with, or do you think it's time maybe to stick to one because clearly the offense needs to find some life?
Well, it's been working well for them here in the first half. I don't think they need to change much of what they're doing. They just have to continue to move the ball, run the ball on the ground, mix it up and get some explosive plays and get in the end zone. They haven't had any trouble doing that thus far in this ballgame.
It's a clash of philosophies here. Pomona-Pitzer, more of a creative offense, a dynamic quarterback play, and bend don't break defense. Chapman is balanced offensively. They have an efficient offense and an opportunistic defense that hits hard on the defensive front. 1st and 10, it's going to be a keeper here for Pacheco, and he goes down in the wrong direction. A loss of 2 on the play, and a great tackle right there by Omaro Kone. Good to see he's okay after he went down earlier with an apparent injury.
Yes, Kone making a big tackle here and making a statement for the Sage Hens, stopping the ground game early in this drive here for the Panthers.
And really, the only player you have to take out of this game if you're the defense is Pacheco, because he's the only one that's done some real damage against you. Right up the middle, Zimmerman was wide open. The throw is just behind him by Luke Peterman, and it's going to be 3rd and 12 coming. But the reason I say that, Pacheco has the rushing touchdown, he has the passing touchdown. I know Yellen has 2 passing touchdowns, but it feels like it was Pacheco who disrupted the defense utmost in that first half.
Definitely has, and that play that we just saw is all rhythm and timing there. And Peterman balls out late. Don't know if it was a miscommunication on what route he's supposed to run, but now it's 3rd and long here for the Panthers.
The crowd trying to register on the Richter scale. Peterman gets eaten alive. The Sage Hen defense comes roaring into the backfield, and Alden Kling, the sack leader in the SCIAC, takes him down.
Alden Kling with a huge play on 3rd and long there, and they were able to pin their ears back and get after the quarterback. And it looked like you had 3 or 4 Sage Hens back there in the backfield, and that's something we weren't seeing in the first half. Is a lot of pressure on the quarterback, forcing a 3-and-out. This might be the first 3-and-out of the ball game for the Panthers.
And this is going to force them to punt with their heels to their own end zone. Carson Nichols, the 5'9" sophomore. Oh, this is a knuckleball that's going to bounce at the 35 and trickle the wrong way. It actually bounced at the 40, but it's going to be taken at the 39.5-yard line. The Sage Hens are in opponent territory to start their 3rd drive of the second half.
So they're really taking control of this ball game, and you got to give them a lot of credit, because going into half they were down 3 scores. They weren't running the ball well. Defensively, they were all over the place. Chapman was having their way. Here in the over halfway through the 3rd quarter, scoring a couple touchdowns. Great 3-and-out stop, and now in favorable field position.
Russo has 209 yards in the air, 61 yards on the ground, fresh off a 25-yard keeper into the end zone. This time he goes to Wimmer, overthrown, almost intercepted David Gorman. Check that. Colin Keefe had a hand on it, but cannot bring it in. Bouncing off of Sander Wimmer.
Colin Keefe, we haven't called his name a lot tonight, but in the previous matchup, he had a really great ball game. Is Colin Keefe. He's a really good football player, but you know they're going with these one-on-ones to the Wimmer boys, right? And it's worked thus far, but you know I think they can stick to the ground game, stay ahead of the chains here, take advantage of the field position.
Golden hour approaching us here, peering off of the mountains in the background. Russo screen pass left side. Sussank lost it, and 3rd and 10 is coming here for Pomona-Pitzer.
Yeah, Russo is frustrated on that one. It was a really big opportunity for SCIAC to be able to get some yards there. And the look was there, you know. I mean, he's just got to look that ball in and catch it. Fortunate that ball wasn't maybe intercepted, but he had a lot of time and distance there if he would have caught that football to make a play.
So the line is loaded up now. On the far side, you have Sander Wimmer. On the near slot, actually now the Wimmers are lined up next to each other on the near side. Man in motion is Rodenbaugh. They go on a little pitch end around. How about the play to Rodenbaugh as he's out of bounds near the 20.
I love that hook and ladder play there. Jonathan does a great job on this offense, just having the patience to run that play. They go empty set there, 5 wide.
Joaquin Valdez was the initial target.
Valdez gets the pass there and does a little end-around hook and ladder play.
Is that by design? Because
Yes.
to execute that, like, you have to be pinpoint. Everybody has to be in sync.
That is a rhythm and timing play right there.
First and 10 from the 21. Russo keeps, breaks loose. Russo for a moment had some daylight, but he's finally taken down near the 15, a gain of 6 on the keeper. But you can feel the momentum and the energy the Sage Hen offense is playing with right now.
And the Sage Hens offensive line, mixed with the play calling of this offensive coordinator for the Sage Hens, has really benefited in the second half. I mean, they're establishing that ground game. They're getting some passes. They're doing hook and ladders. They're doing some of these trick plays. It's really keeping this defense for the Panthers on their heels and putting pressure off that offensive line.
4.5 to go here at quarter number 3. Panthers have led by as many as 3 possessions. It was a 28-7 game. It's 28-20. Sage Hens are driving. Russo keeps, shedding 1 tackle, but finally taken down out very close to the line to gain. It was Colin Keefe on the tackle.
Nice play there by Colin Keefe. And Russo here finding some wiggle room on the ground.
And they gave him the first down.
Gave him the first down yardage. So fresh set of downs inside the 15-yard line here.
Russo just a sophomore, but you can see the poise and the composure here in the SCIAC Championship, trying to lead his team to its first ever SCIAC Championship. And he got lost in this one. Line collapsing, and he is taken down for the 4th time here today.
Yeah, that was a common theme in the first half, is getting sacked in the backfield.
Alexander Tariquez and Zachariah Dunham, the graduate transfer from Missouri Valley College, in on the sack. And actually it was Tariquez who wrapped him up first.
Zachariah Dunham, he's been a force on that defensive line all day for the Sage Hens.
It was a loss of 6. 2nd and 16. Russo looking towards the back. He has a Wimmer who's being held, and he will not get a flag or a touchdown. I mean, we are the furthest people from that play, Drew, and boy, we could see it from here.
Well, they're letting these boys play, that's for sure. I mean, if that's not a pass interference, I really don't know what is, but he was pretty much...
Oh, yeah, I mean, the whole play.
He was grabbed in the back of the jersey.
And the fans can see it on the big board here because they're showing the stream in-house.
I mean, the only thing you could justify that is that he was looking back for the football, but you're grabbing and tackling a guy down to the ground. I mean, that should be an easy flag.
3rd and 16. Russo's going to keep. Russo dancing to his right, and he slips and then dives and takes a tough hit out near the 5.
And this might be 4-down territory, and I know they've been having a lot of success here in the 3rd quarter, but taking advantage of these opportunities in the red zone will be crucial for the Sage Hens. And Russo drops back, doesn't love what he sees, and such a threat on the ground, extending plays.
So they are going to bring out Jack Walker, 5 for 7 this season. His long was 39. Chapman is going to burn a timeout here.
Well, this kick would bring him under 1 possession here, so maybe they're trying to ice the kicker here. Not sure what they're thinking, but a valuable timeout late in this 3rd quarter burned by the Panthers. But I mentioned earlier, Zachariah Dunham for the Panthers. He's been disruptive all night against the Sage Hens. He's having a great night tonight, and you got to credit some of these defensive players for Chapman thus far.
It's only a 24-yard field goal attempt. So I know you're trying to ice him. Maybe that is the intent, maybe it isn't, but I mean, 24 yards, that should be a shoo-in for any college kicker.
Yeah, it's an interesting decision to
He also
call
has the
timeout.
missed PAT, I think, is another note here. Not sure how that will impact him here.
It's early in this ball game. I like the decision to kick it.
Charlie Russo is the holder. Trying to cut this thing to 5. Kick is up, and it slices through. 28-23, 2:23 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Sage Hens continuing to creep ever closer to try and take hold of this football game.
Well, a big 16 points here for Pomona-Pitzer in this 3rd quarter. Can't give them enough credit here starting this 2nd half. 2 touchdowns and a field goal for Pomona to not just crawl back into this game, Jonathan, but leap back into this game. We have a ball game here tonight, folks.
I've seen videos of sage hens when they cross streams. They take this big leap, and then they flap their wings a little bit for a tad of elevation, and then they glide down on the other side. I'm spending way too much time on TikTok. My algorithm is taking me down weird rabbit holes, obviously.
Clearly.
But somehow that feels like a like a bit of a metaphor for what's going on here in this game.
Yeah, I was hoping you were going to say Animal Planet and not TikTok, but...
I'm Gen Z, buddy. Ball into the end zone where the touchback is made.
Why did the sage hen cross the road?
Why? You better have a punchline. Okay, clearly, Drew was set up to fail. Now, he chose to go down this path, but, you have until the end of the third quarter to come up with the punchline for that joke.
Give me a few minutes here, Jonathan. I'll get back to you.
There was a game we called this season where fans were wearing shark costumes, and I had
that
all
was
these shark
Modern Day in
jokes.
Eastlake for homecoming.
All right, on the first play of this drive for Chapman, Gio Ursino takes the carry outright and gets maybe a yard out of it. Boy, he has been nullified after the first quarter of this game.
The Sage Hens have come out in the second half and just decided to play defense, right? I mean, they're doing a great job stopping the run, right? The last drive for the Panthers was a 3-and-out with a sack on Luke Peterman. Sage Hens really coming in strong here on the defensive side of the ball.
It is Yellen, by the way, in at quarterback. Peterman got the nod in the first drive of the half, and they've been able to go nowhere on either opportunity on offense here in quarter number 3. Yellen, 3 steps, looking to throw, running out of time, and he is slung down. Another sack here by the Sage Hens and Ethan Norris. He had 4 of them in the regular season, and the senior from San Jose gets one here this afternoon.
Yeah, Ethan Norris. This might have been a bit of a coverage sack, but great penetration into the backfield, using his hands to get off the block there. High motor player, Ethan Norris, coming up huge here for the Sage Hens.
It's a loss of 8, and it's going to be 3rd and a country mile, as Drew Ferris would say. And Ursino is going to take it. Defense wasn't totally ready as he's pushed out across the 25-yard line for a 4th down. And in their own territory, the Panthers will have to punt for a 3rd time here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Ursino just takes the ball up on the right side. And to that point, Jonathan, is completely opposite of what we saw in the first half for Chapman with 3 3-and-outs here to start this second half. And the Sage Hens, they're able to win with only 3 or 4 guys with their hand in the turf on the line of scrimmage. That opens up so much for them defensively and makes it really difficult for the Panthers to move the ball.
Carson Nichols has been busy here in the 3rd. Lee takes it near the 30, bouncing out right. Lee is taken down here after a short return on the play. And on the coverage was Jacob Gowdy. So the Sage Hens get the football back. Decent field position as we take another look at the return.
Yeah, he has to carry that ball with his right hand, not his left. Keep that ball away from the defenders. A little bit of a late hit there by Gian Lagman for the Panthers. But Russo and company back here with their 4th drive of the second half.
They've scored in their first 3. And Russo all alone again. Defense only rushing 3, screen pass to Quinton Wimmer. Wimmer breaking loose. Look at the hop as he stays on his feet despite taking the contact. This guy an all-around athlete as he gets 15 yards here for the Sage Hens.
Yeah, Wimmer, such a special athlete. We've already seen that here in this ball game, but I love the play call here. It's just a wide receiver screen out to left. Get your playmakers in space with the ball, and he almost kicks the guy jumping up there, but you see the athleticism, you see the strength. Wimmer with a great job there getting first down yardage.
Sunset coming here in Pomona, but boy, do we have a lively 4th quarter to look forward to as we step aside. You're watching the SCIAC Football Championship on Flow Sports. Down 3 quarters. Welcome to the 4th quarter of the SCIAC Football Championship. Russo goes out to Sander Wimmer. He gets a screen pass trying to emulate what his brother did to end the 3rd quarter with a 15-yard screen pass reception. But Sander, reeling in his 4th reception here, gets a short gain on the play. The Sage Hens scoring on all 3 of their 3rd quarter possessions. They stifle the Panthers in all 3 of their 3rd quarter possessions. And here with just under 15 minutes to go, it's 28-23 as Pomona-Pitzer looks to avenge the championship loss a season ago to Chapman and win their first ever in school history. Here's Sander Wimmer elevating and reeling it in.
What a grab by Sander Wimmer. He sees his brother make a big-time catch in the first half, truck some people, make some big catches. He says, I see you, bro.
There's a flag on the play. My goodness, though, what a catch.
What a grab.
And they are picking on Caleb Padrid, by the way, who's had the unfortunality of guarding both the Wimmer brothers. But holding call will bring this ball all the way back before the 40 to the 38-yard line. 2nd and 20. Russo almost intercepted as Wimmer took an absolute shot by Rennick Martin. On the tip was Tate Zimmerman.
You have to be careful to not throw a ball, a bad pass, just because you want to force the ball to one of your best players here. And
by the way, watch the hit at the end of this play right there.
Well, that looked like incidental. I think they were both going for the football there. And I think the Sage Hen fans didn't quite see that.
Russo had his ball bobbled by Mitchell Rodenbaugh. That was 3rd and 17. So 4th down now, the first punt coming for the Sage Hens in this second half. And that works out pretty well for Chapman because they need some signs of life on offense to try and put this thing away.
Yeah, that holding call there to nullify Sanders' Wimmer catch there was a big drive killer on this one. But Panthers battling back on defense, now getting the ball back to see if they can do something with it.
Good punt. Amir Adam on the return, weaving his way, spinning through a would-be tackler and taking it out across the 45. Fans want an illegal block in the back on the near side. The fans on the far side very satisfied with a nice return. And the Chapman offense is going to trot back out there here in a moment.
Yeah, these Sage Hen fans aren't quite happy with these refs here so far. Let's see if we can see a block in the back. Yeah.
It was sort of both ways. They were both making contact.
Well,
that's like us here in this booth.
Yeah, you know, I think that was a block in the back.
Okay.
I understand. I mean, even if you're hitting them, looks like it's shoulder to shoulder. If you hit any part of the back side of the shoulder, that's considered a block in the back. So yeah, I understand why the Sage Hen fans are upset on that one.
So now it's going to be up to the offense and Tyler Pacheco, the junior from Hollister. He's going to keep it himself on a fake end around and meet a wall of Sage Hens near the 50. It's a gain of 4 and a 2nd and 6 coming up here for the Panthers on offense.
Pacheco with a nice run up the middle to get some positive yardage. We haven't really seen much of him in this second half. He's really tough to bring down as well. Really dynamic playmaker for the Panthers.
3rd carry for him, rather 6th carry for him here in this game. And this time, he was looking to throw and then keeps it, but the defense was ready. Pacheco dropped for a loss on the play. Leading the charge for the Sage Hens was Thomas McConnell, the senior out of Pasadena Polytechnical in Los Angeles.
Thomas McConnell, great job on that play. Just not being fooled and stepping up into that run lane. We saw so many wide open rush lanes for Pacheco in the first half. But the Sage Hens doing a great job spying on him, keying him, not letting him break loose and get free. Now it's going to be 3rd and long here for the Panthers.
There is an injured Sage Hen on the play. And it definitely has been an interesting game, a tale of 2 completely different halves. Half number 1 dominated by the Panthers. They were up 28-7. And then half number 2 has been largely all Sage Hens. They were out of the gates trailing. They needed some signs of life. Grady Russo was able to find Jackson Walker into the end zone. That made it 20-13. A missed PAT kept it at that score. And then the next drive, Grady Russo ran for 22 yards for the touchdown to make it 20-20. And then Jack Walker kicking a 24-yard field goal to complete a 32-yard drive to make it 28-23 to bring the Pomona-Pitzer Sage Hens back into this game when it really felt like they may have been down and out, as the entire Sage Hen sideline on a knee right now as the injured player continues to be checked on. Sage Hens already without one of their star wide receivers, Matthias Olsen, who broke his collarbone. And this one is Charlie Russo, the senior defensive back who has been phenomenal out of Bradford, Connecticut. One of the team leaders on the defensive side in that secondary.
Yeah, Russo, he came up with a big interception that was called back for a defensive holding, but really special athlete. He's also their holder on field goals. Not sure if you mentioned that just now, Jonathan, but if he can't return to this ball game, that's going to be a big factor here in this fourth quarter.
3rd and 9. As they'll check on him, we'll let you know if we get any updates. Pacheco remaining in the shotgun. He has Gio Ursino in motion to his right. And it's a fake Pacheco keeps, and boy, right now this Chapman offense, it doesn't seem like there's a ton of trust because they are not letting them throw the football at all. And that was 3rd and 9 in the fourth quarter of a championship football game.
Yeah, interesting set of play calls here in this third quarter for Chapman. They've really disappeared on the offensive side of the ball, and not to discredit Chapman so much, but the Sage Hens have really come to play here in this second half, being really stout on the defensive line, controlling the line of scrimmage, stopping the run. Truly a tale of two different halves here, Jonathan.
Coming into this half, Pomona-Pitzer was averaging negative 0.3 yards on the ground per carry. They're now averaging 3.2 yards per carry on the ground. As we are going to see another punt, Lee is standing back at the 10. Fair catch is called at the 11. And the Sage Hens will have 89 yards to try and take the lead here with 11:42 to go in the sun setting on a Saturday evening in the SCIAC Football Championship.
And another stat to point out, Jonathan, is that Chapman had 17 first downs in the first half. They have 17 first downs
on the game.
Mm-hmm. On the flip side of that, the Sage Hens had 7 first downs in the first half. They now have 17.
And by the way, Pomona-Pitzer in the air, 245 on the ground. They're up near 100. Chapman is struggling as here is a run for Rodenbaugh that goes for a short gain on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 6 coming up.
Yeah, that's a great job by the linebacker there for the Panthers.
Call it 2nd and 5 now. Russo keeping it, lowering the shoulder as he is taken out, but not before a 6-yard gain in the first down here. So clock control has to be priority number 1, and then this drive has to end in a touchdown to complement the controlled pace here for the Sage Hens.
Yeah, they have a long way to go here, but they're doing the right thing, establishing the run game, getting first downs.
By the way, Pomona-Pitzer now controlling the time of possession as Rodenbaugh elevates and brings that one in for a gain of 4 on the play. Coming into this half, it was a huge advantage. It was 18-11-ish, 18-12-ish time of possession in favor of Chapman. That has been flipped here in half number 2. It has been all Pomona-Pitzer.
Yeah, Pomona doing a great job maintaining possession of the football, forcing 3 and outs against Chapman.
Russo running out of space-time, and he is sacked on the play. Kyle Seibin is second on the game, the junior from Burlingame, cutting down the quarterback for a big loss on the play.
Yeah, Kyle Seibin does a nice job getting to the backfield, and Russo looking, and you got to get that ball out just a little quicker there. But Seibin untouched into the backfield. for the Panthers.
Ball is back at the 19-yard line. 3rd and 15. Russo up the middle, has Wimmer, splitting the pair. Sander Wimmer across the 40. A huge gain on the play, and the Sage Hens come up with a big 2nd down.
Great job by Russo, threading the needle there for Sanders. Wimmer readjusting to the football. A 3rd and long play here. Russo threads the needle between 2 defenders.
Friendly fire right there.
A little bit.
Russo going deep to Quentin Wimmer. He brings it in! Inside the 20. The Wimmer brothers wreaking havoc on this Panther defense.
Back-to-back Wimmer-to-Wimmer connections here for Russo. And Russo takes a little drop back there, puts some air under it. We saw that happen in the first half. Quentin Wimmer locating the football. Great job coming down with it.
And a timeout is taken as Caleb Padrid is down here for the Chapman Panthers. Padrid has been an integral part of this defense. He has been the guy who has guarded the Wimmers all afternoon long. It's not an easy task, and you just saw that in action. With 8:49 to go, it's going to be a 1st and 10 from the 16. Hopefully Padrid is okay. We talk about how important he is, not just in this game, but all season long. He's been able to reel in 3 interceptions. He had a 2-interception game against the Redlands, and the other one in the previous matchup between these two teams in October.
And the Wimmer brothers, they have so much size and athleticism against these defensive backs for the Panthers, and great job by the Sage Hens taking advantage of that. Russo being a big factor in getting them the ball.
The Sage Hens inside the red zone. Whether it's Sander or Quinton, you know that as long as the name Wimmer is in the picture, you have a chance. Sanders to the left. Mitchell Rodenball's the running back. Russo barking out orders. Jack Sabota sliding in. Russo looking towards Sander Wimmer, back of the end zone. He brings it in for a touchdown! Sander Wimmer left on an island. And he puts Pomona-Pitzer on top here, 29-28 in the SCIAC Championship.
It was just a great job by Grady Russo. He brought a man in motion to check the protection, to protect his backside. One-on-one jump ball to Sanders Wimmer for the touchdown. He's made some great throws tonight. And another one there to take the lead.
The 3rd passing touchdown for Russo here tonight. He has 1 on the ground. Leading the conference, going for 2. Sander Wimmer in motion. They go fade back end zone. Here's Quinton who makes the catch. But they're going to say he did not get the foot down. An incomplete pass keeps it a 1-point ball game with 8:19 to go.
This is absolutely incredible to have the Sage Hens come back into this ball game. Because in the first half, it really looks like they didn't show up to play. And here's a touchdown pass here again. Russo putting air under the ball, and great adjustment by Sanders Wimmer.
I mean, Keith had a hand in there, and it just didn't matter.
But he never got his head around to locate the football. Sanders gets up, elevates, catches the ball, and gets his feet in bounds. And on this play here, looks like Quentin Wimmer, he had the catch, and it just ripped out of his possession as he was going down.
Right, he just never
maintained possession as he headed towards the ground. It was a great job by the defense ripping the ball out. But we have a ball game here, folks. It is 29-28 here in the hills of Pomona.
The sunset gleaming off of Mount Baldy in the background. The noise of the Pomona-Pitzer fans echoing here in the foreground. The kickoff taken at the 10, looping around out near the 25 before being taken down here. Nice kick return for Chapman and Brendan Manzano.
Well, Chapman has their work cut out for them. This is the first time they've been down in this ball game, and they're going to have their backs against the wall here in the 4th quarter. 8 minutes and 13 seconds left to go, and the Panthers are going to take some time to think this one over. What a ball game here, folks.
Another look at the return, a good return at that. But Chapman's offense has been stifled as that ball goes backwards on the flag to the 10-yard line, Drew. And, I mean, now you got 90 yards to go. Now, a field goal obviously puts you in front, but we haven't seen a ton of confidence here in this offense in the second half. Here's Joey Yellen in the shotgun. Hands it off to Gio Ursino, who veers his way through that defensive line out near the 16-yard line. They'll call it down at the 17, a gain of 7 on the run.
I think this is a good call, putting Yellen back in this ball game here. You're going to need a true passer to move this offense along. They're going to go tempo here again. They've had success with that tonight.
Yeah, the trickery that Pacheco brings was not fooling the defense. So they go back to the traditional quarterback situation. Pomona-Pitzer
calling for a false start.
Yeah, they're
there.
asking for it. 10 on the play clock. Russo again breaking loose. Getting the first down and some change out across the 25. Down at the 27. A gain of 10 on the play. And Ursino finally finding some productivity here in the second half.
Yeah, Gio Ursino, he seemed to have been absent there in that third quarter, and they're going to need to get him involved in this ballgame if they're going to want to have a chance. He did such a great first half. But just because you're down a point doesn't mean you're not going to commit to this ground game, and this is what Chapman needs.
Clock management and points, the name of the game for the Panthers. Yellen will keep this one. Now finds Adams, who's quickly wrapped up and taken down out across the 35. Tackle made here by Trevor Carson, the junior from Santa Barbara. But nonetheless, a gain of 7 on the play sets up a 2nd and 3.
It's a great job by Yellen pulling that at the last minute there, tricking the defense, but good pitch and catch and even a better tackle there to halt this offense.
The Vuvuzelas continuing to try and disrupt this offense. Ursino gets taken out here. Did he lose the football? Seemed like there was some extra action at the end of that. Maybe he didn't fully go down. He is on the bottom of that pile.
Yeah, he took a shot. I mean, these Sage hands are really coming after these ball carriers.
That's the other adjustment, Drew, I've seen, is that it feels like the defensive line is far more active here in the second half for Pomona-Pitzer.
And they're gang tackling. They're getting more hats on the football, right? They're getting off blocks. They're being more aggressive. It's what's caused them defensively to get back in this ball game.
Someone call the Earthquake Center. Tell them it's not an earthquake. It's just Sagehead fans on 3rd and 1. On the move is Pacheco. He's now under center, taking the snap, pitching it back, Yellen to throw, up the middle, complete to Bible, and he's down at the 40. Gorgeous play from the Panthers.
Well, somebody tell the Sagehands that the Panthers have their own set of trick plays up their sleeve, too, because we've seen a lot of misdirection and trick plays in the first matchup for the Sagehands and in this ball game, but Chapman here going with a little, almost a flea flicker type of play.
But the reason it's not is because it went back to the quarterback, right?
It's true.
1st and 10 from the 42, 5 minutes to go. Chapman looking to repeat as SCIAC champions. Pomona-Pitzer looking for its first ever under the new system. Pomona-Pitzer, one of the oldest football teams in the nation, began playing in the 1890s. Here's a keeper. Oh, and I don't know why Yellen slowed up. That totally exposed him, and he took an absolute shot at the end of it, courtesy of Joshua Yen, the senior from Wellesley, Massachusetts.
Yeah, Yen coming up, making a big play, and he slows down a little bit. And
dangerous.
But again, it's like gang tackling for the Sagehands, rallying to the football. These coaches got these boys playing here tonight, Jonathan.
Gain of 2 on the play. Pacheco hustles off. 2nd and 8. Ursino to the left. Andrew Latu to the right. Ursino will not carry it. Instead, Yellen throws, has a man open, caught inside the 10. Reeled in here for the Panthers. It's Jason Bruce, the junior wide receiver.
Jason Bruce with a great grab here down the sideline to really move these Panthers into the red zone. And again, it's that play action, right? The defense gets sucks up towards the line of scrimmage, and Bruce just runs past the defense there does a nice catch to get into the red zone.
Second completion here tonight for Bruce. First and goal from the 4. Ursino carries. Defensive line was ready, but Ursino squeaks past all of them and into the end zone for a Panther touchdown. Chapman takes the lead here with 3:21 to go. They march 89 yards to find the end zone.
And it's back to Gio Ursino, who they've had so much success with in the first half. And on that drive here, ending a dry spell for the Panthers, finally getting into the end zone here in the second half, and Ursino finishes it off.
The first points here for Chapman in the second half after putting on 28 in the first 30 minutes. So they're up by 5 now. I think no matter what, you're going for 2.
Absolutely. It makes a ton of sense here to go for 2.
So Yellen, the quarterback, in the shotgun. Wave Bruce to his right. Yellen, back of the end zone. It is incomplete. I don't think that Bible was quite ready for it. He was open, but lost his footing in the process, and it remains 34-29, so a touchdown would put the Sage Hens back up top. Here's another look.
That was a great defense by the Sage Hens. Oh, this is the touchdown here by Ursino, and just wiggling his way in. Great patience and vision. Downhill runner. So elusive, so slippery. Nice jump cut there to the left side, and he does the rest.
The 2 most efficient quarterbacks in the SCIAC, Joey Yellen and Grady Russo, both with multiple touchdown passes, both with 0 interceptions.
I just couldn't quite connect on the 2-point conversion there.
Yellen 17 for 23 for 195 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. That's a 74% completion percentage. But not to diminish the 27 for 41 for Russo with 339 through the air and 3 passing touchdowns. The lights are bright now as we say goodbye to the day. The kickoff ensuing the touchdown into the back of the end zone. And the Sage Hens, with all 3 of their timeouts and the home crowd backing them, back in possession of the football, needing a touchdown to take the lead.
Yeah, Sage Hens have their hands full with this one, and it's going to take all their playmakers. Great decision-making by Grady Russo to climb back into this ball game, but they've had a great second half. Wouldn't put it past them here to get in the end zone.
Winston Wimmer, a new season high. 9 receptions, 146 yards. His brother has 70 receiving yards and a touchdown. First and 10 for Russo, looking to throw up the middle. Here's Sander Wimmer, reeling it in, out across the 30, dragging the pile. Just shy of that 35-yard line, a gain of 7, maybe 8 on the play.
And they're going to rely on both Wimmer brothers here to move the ball up the field and working underneath. You have plenty of time in this ball game. It's just over 3 minutes. Nice job by Sander there to make a defender miss and fall forward for get yardage.
4 receivers to the left at the screen pass complete. Mitchell Rodenbaugh barreling his way through the defense, gets the first down and some change out across the 45 to the 46, a gain of 12.
Well, I love these underneath calls here. It's going to force the defense to come up and defend this. If they're going to play off that much, they're going to take that little bit of a hold there, but got away with it. But if you're going to play so far off the receivers, they're going to take that underneath all day.
A timeout called here with 2:37 to go. Actually, I think they're going to reset the clock here with a couple more ticks. Yeah, 2:42. First and 10 from the 46. So the Sage Hens have been meticulous here in the second half in getting their playmakers the ball, and it's been working.
It really has. I mean, the Sage Hens are doing a great job offensively, and up until that last touchdown for Chapman, great job defensively, keeping the Panthers out of the end zone. But offensively, they're mixing up the run and the pass. They're doing everything that the Panthers were doing in the first half, but they're getting their playmakers in space. Rousseau's really settling into this ball game. The offensive line is giving him time to throw. It's been a real thing of beauty here for the Sage Hens in the second half.
Since 2013, Chapman has won 8 of the 12 matchups. But Pomona-Pitzer won the most recent one. Chapman has won 3 of the last 4, including the conference championship game a year ago. Out of the timeout, it's first and 10. On their own 46, the Sage Hens looking to take the lead. Russo is alone. He has a quadrant of wide receivers to his right. He's going to keep it. Dancing out right Upended near the 50 on the tackle, Jacob Gowdy.
Gowdy, nice play on that. And it was a great job by Russo recognizing where the blitz was coming from. And the blitz goes upfield, and he just replaces the blitzer with the ball by running it for a few yards.
Gowdy, the sophomore from Hawaii. 4 interceptions, tied for first on the team this season. Here's a pass. Rodenbaugh on the receiving end, running backwards, shedding Martin before being taken down here by a duo of Panthers, led by Isaiah Munoz, the senior from Corona. And that'll set up a 3rd and about 4.
Rodenbaugh has had a nice night tonight, being that outlet receiver for Russo, and looks like we're here. 2-minute warning.
Just continuing to find ways to make plays. This was the dangerous part right here, but Rodenbaugh able to break free and at least get a yard. But Pomona-Pitzer has done such a great job of just grinding through this game. I mean, they were down 28-7 at halftime, and we felt the momentum existed. It just wasn't apparent. And then immediately slam out of that second half break, or halftime break into the second half. The Sage Hens with their foot to the floor, have brought themselves all the way back into this game.
Yeah, this is a completely different Sage Hen team here in the second half, and you got to credit them coming out, firing off the ball on defense, getting off blocks, getting sacks, disrupting that offense of the Panthers that have been so great here in the first half. And let's see if Grady Russo can pull this off.
120 seconds to go. Into the backfield, scampers Susank. Russo keeps spinning his way multiple times out across to the 35. Boy, he hit the spin cycle right there. And a nice gain of 12, and he is coming up hobbled. But I guarantee you something, Drew, that kid is so tough, he's going to stay out there.
Yeah, he wants to stay in. He's not going to... Well, yeah, he's pretty hurt.
No,
really
he's in a lot of pain. Yeah, maybe not.
Might be his ribs.
He has taken a beating here.
He's got to walk this one off.
Sage Hens burning their first time out to check on their quarterback, who is on the near sideline. A sophomore out of Dover, Massachusetts. He prepped at Thayer Academy. The most efficient quarterback in the SCIAC. He missed 2 games, including when they matched up against Chapman back on October 17th. And yet he still found a way to lead the conference in touchdown passes, lead his team in passing and in rushing, and trying to lead his team to their first ever SCIAC Football championship.
Yeah, Grady Russo, such a great football player. He's great vision for the game. He's a really tough runner. Great touches on his passes. He's able to get his Wimmer brothers in space, get them a pair of touchdown passes. He's really been the X factor for the Sage Hens in this ballgame.
And here he is, putting the weight of this team on his shoulders with a $1:47 to go, potentially in the season. 1st and 10 from the 36. Defense bringing 4. Russo keeps, and he is taken down for a loss of 3 on the play. Kyle Seibin in on the tackle, and that is scary for a quarterback who just came up hobbled on the previous play.
Yeah, he had somebody out in the flat, but he just couldn't see him because the Panthers were really deep in the backfield on that one.
Hunter Wickham also in there, the sophomore defensive end. 2nd and 10, 1:20 to go. Russo with time. Far side, has a man. It's caught. Got to get out of bounds, and he did. Jack Sabata reeling it in.
Great decision there, not forcing a bad throw or an opportunity to get an interception by trying to hit the Wimmer brothers there. Just found an open man out in the flat. Great job setting his feet, hitting his man in stride, getting a 3rd and manageable.
Ball is at the 32-yard line. 3rd and 6. 4 down territory the rest of the way. Clock at 1:14. Russo's alone. Wimmer on the move. Russo to pass. Up the middle has Wimmer. Breaking free, diving for the pylon, and he got the first down. Sander Wimmer keeping the drive alive.
That was a phenomenal job by Sander to get that play. A little bit of a miscommunication because Joaquin Valdez also ran a crossing route over the middle, and Russo able to find Wimmer over the middle, get a first down.
8 receptions for 84 yards. The Wimmers have combined for 18 receptions here tonight. This one is a screen pass to Joaquin Valdez, who gets across the 20 for a gain of 8.5. We'll call it 9 on the play.
Great job by Sanders Wimmer getting a block on the edge on that one.
Clock is trickling. Pomona-Pitzer has 2 timeouts, and they're going to use it. Well, yeah, so interesting. So you let the clock trickle 5 seconds, and then you use the timeout.
Well, the way that this Panther offense is, how explosive they are, you might not want to leave any time left on the clock for these Panthers, but Sage Hens in full control of this drive right now. They have 1 timeout left, 32 seconds left. The whole playbook is open right now for the Sage Hens, and they've been doing a great job on this drive, just taking what the defense gives you. Russo not forcing a bad pass, not taking a sack.
By the way, Russo set a new career high in passing, 383 yards this game for a dual threat who really is built like a running back.
And most of that coming in the second half, Jonathan.
Yeah,
I mean, the first
true.
half they were radio silent on offense almost, outside of that touchdown pass to Quentin Wimmer.
Here we go, 32 seconds, 34-29 in the SCIAC Football Championship. Sussing to the left, Russo in the shotgun. It is 2nd and 2. Play clock trickling to 14. Sander Wimmer on the move. Russo out left, looking for Quentin through the defense. Touchdown, Sage Hens! Quentin Wimmer putting Pomona-Pitzer on top with 28 seconds left in the SCIAC championship game.
Grady Russo into double coverage for Quentin Wimmer to take the lead here late in the fourth quarter. What a pitch and catch by the Sage Hens. They are fired up here in Pomona.
2nd receiving touchdown of the game. The Wimmer brothers doing everything they can to complement the efforts of their quarterback, who has 4 touchdown passes tonight. And Pomona's going to use their final timeout on the 2-point conversion to try and make it a 3-point game. Holy moly, Drew Ferris.
Absolute incredible job here on this play. See little Sanders motion out to the right. Throws back to his left into double coverage for Quentin Wimmers. The last place you might expect that ball to go to, given that he's double covered. He looks to his right, gets the whole defense over there, and Quentin Wimmers high points that football. Just an incredible catch by Wimmers to come down with that.
You and I were talking during the halftime break, Drew, and you said, if I'm an NFL team, I'm giving that kid an invite to training camp.
Yeah, him and his brother. I mean, these 2 players here have been doing a phenomenal job here. I mean, he's got the size, he's got the athleticism, he's tough, he's really hard to bring down. I mean, if you're an NFL scout, man, write this guy's name down. Give this man a chance.
Out of the timeout, Quentin to the left, Sussing to the right, Rodenbaugh behind. Russo is the middleman. Sander Wimmer alone on the left. The 2-point conversion would make it a 3-point game. Russo to Sander, fade, caught. These guys are insane as the flag is thrown. The question, though, is, Drew, is that offensive pass interference?
Yeah, I think it might be an OPI here. Oh, they're calling it on the defense. That is huge.
37-34 Sage Hens.
What an incredible comeback in this ballgame, Jonathan.
Surging their way into the lead here with 28 seconds to go. And those Vuvuzelas might be playing into tomorrow if this thing holds on. What a play.
Well, I'll always love to see the orange and blue get ahead in the ballgame here late in the fourth quarter, Jonathan. As you know, my alma mater being University of Florida. But again, this is all about the Sage Hens here tonight. What an incredible play
So now Chapman with one timeout. We'll have to try and find an answer. I apologize if you tune into my basketball game on Monday between Cal State Fullerton and Idaho State. I might not have a voice.
Well, I'll take over, Jonathan. No worries.
I don't know if you'll have a voice either. Just wait until tomorrow morning. Just start get the tea brewing now. The kickoff towards the end zone. You might want to let this one go. Nope, you're going to take it out. Why not? Out across the 20 to the 25 to the 30, and near the 35-yard line is where this one will finally be laid to rest on the return by Manzano. Great return. I thought you wanted to give your offense as much time as possible, so maybe you allow the touchback to happen, but Manzano had other ideas.
Well, I think if you get a nice run here and you get good starting field position, really helps the offense out. A little bit of a holding and maybe blocking the back there against the Panthers that wasn't called, but maybe you get a touchdown on that if he was to spring loose.
So now you have to make some noise if you're the offense. This is Peterman up the middle, incomplete, almost intercepted. And now with 14 seconds to go and one timeout at 2nd and 10.
You know, I'm really confused, Jonathan. I mean, not to slight Luke Peterman, but the only touchdown drive they've had in this game is with Yellen back there at quarterback.
In the half.
In this half, excuse me. And now, you know, you see Peterman out here taking the last drive. So, very interesting decision by these Panthers.
Peterman 3 for 6 through the air, just 28 yards here tonight. Dancing right. Unleashes one up the middle. Has a man. This one is caught by Tyler Pacheco out near the 45. Chapman will need to burn its final timeout with 6 seconds to go. I mean, maybe you have time for a hitch route to the outside to stop the clock. I don't know, but I think you might have to take a shot at the end zone here when play resumes.
I think you do have to take a shot at the end zone here, Jonathan. And
what a catch by Pacheco, by the way.
Great catch by Pacheco. I mean, he's tackled just past the 45-yard line. I mean, that's a 60-something yard field goal most likely. So, and you don't really have time for a quick out here. So maybe if you're in the NFL, you would, because those receivers and quarterbacks get the ball out a little quicker. But with 6 seconds left, I think you should see them take a shot at the end zone.
Yeah, you got to go max protect. You got to get everybody into the end zone. And you better believe that this home crowd is going to play a part in trying to disrupt what could be the final play of the season for the Chapman Panthers. It's a team coming into the season who is advertising as one of its best teams in program history. Nobody really saw this coming from Pomona-Pitzer. After beating Chapman, the Panthers ripped off 3 straight wins to end the regular season. Pomona has come into the contest winners of 5 straight. They were down 28-7 at halftime. They lead 37-34. There is 6 seconds left to go in the game, and Chapman is sitting with no timeouts, 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. This might be it. Peterman goes on the out route, and we'll see if Pacheco brought it in. I think he did.
It.
So there you go. So a hitch to the outside. You're with right. 2 seconds to go.
I was wrong. Sorry, Chapman, for doubting you on your ability to run an out route there with 6 seconds left.
So it would be a 62-yard field goal attempt.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, good play.
Pass out to the left. Yeah, it's a great pitch and catch there.
They're going to try it. A 62-yard field goal to tie this game. Kick is up. Oh my goodness, this one might have the leg, but it is offline. And the Sage Hens have rewritten the script. After last year's heartbreak, they soared to new heights and claimed the SCIAC championship. For them, it isn't just a championship, it's a dream realized. A year of heartbreak erased and a legacy cemented. Tonight, they soar higher than ever before.
Absolutely incredible finish here in Pomona. Great job by the Sage Hens. Give them a ton of credit. Coming back into the second half, absolutely dominating on both sides of the football. And hats off to the Panthers for coming up short here. And all smiles over here for the Sagehens. You see some emotional
tears.
parents.
And for a program that has been around since the late 1800s, Drew, a program that has been written off time and time again, to go against one of the perennials in this conference, to be down at the half, and to come back to show resiliency and strength to win. It's truly a game for the ages here, as elation strikes the home side and melancholy strikes the away fans. What a season for Chapman. One conference loss to Pomona-Pitzer in the regular season. All the talent in the world.
Yeah, it's really disappointing if you're Chapman. You know, had a great season. Think about all the positive that they had this year, especially on the offensive side of the football. But coming up short here in Pomona, the Sagehens battling back in the second half. Absolutely incredible feeling for the Sagehens here tonight. And they are fired up here on the home side.
And if we were going to award a SCIAC Football Championship MVP, it would go to the sophomore quarterback, Grady Russo. 401 passing yards on 71% completion. 4 passing touchdowns. He also had 101 yards on the ground and a touchdown. That's 5 total touchdowns, Drew, and 502 total yards of offense for the sophomore quarterback. One of the greatest games I have ever seen in college football.
Absolute thriller here in the hills of Pomona. And incredible game by Grady Russo, finding his receivers, accounted for all 5 touchdowns for the Sagehens here tonight. 1 on the ground, 4 through the air. Absolutely incredible effort by not only Grady, but you can see here, looks over to the right, comes back left to Quentin Wimmer in double coverage, securing the game-winning touchdown. Absolutely incredible.
By the way, that guy had 164 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. And then after this, his brother was able to secure the 2-point conversion. But that throw, the catch was incredible. But to be able to split the double coverage and put it only where his guy can get it is second to none. As they are going to be dancing until the daylight here on a Saturday night in Pomona. What a job by our crew. A huge thanks to everybody who made this broadcast possible, from the boys in the truck to the big boss man and all of our friends at TVX, at Flow Sports, and here at Pomona-Pitzer. For Drew Ferris, my name is Jonathan Rifkin, saying goodnight and so long from Pomona-Pitzer. The Sagehens are SCIAC champions for the first time in program history.